walks over the line, left it for Sutter, the shot, he scores! Hawks win!
Sports Vision presents the Chicago Blackhawks. This game is brought to you in part by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by Toyota. Compare, it's Toyota, not the other guys. See your Chicagoland Toyota dealers. And by your neighborhood True Value Hardware store. And by Chevrolet and your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. And by the Illinois State Lottery. Winning lotto numbers are now drawn twice a week on Wednesday and Saturday. So double your chances to win millions. Play Lotto. And by Mr. Submarine and RC Cola. You'll go out of your way to capture the taste of a Mr. Submarine and RC Cola. And by Empire. Carpeting from $6.95 a yard installed, including polyfoam padding and delivery in 72 hours. And by today's Chevrolet, who invites you to live the style, performance, and fun of Chevrolet in '86.
A dandy game last night at the Met Center in Bloomington, Minnesota, and the same two teams square off here tonight in the stadium. Hello again, everybody. Pat Foley and Dale Talon for the rematch between the Blackhawks and the Minnesota North Stars. A 2-1 Hawk win last night set the tone, or set the stage, rather, for the Blackhawks to win the Norris Division tonight if they can win this game.
Well, there's not much chance to rest on your laurels. After a great win last night, you got to get back at it, and this is going to be a tough one. Minnesota still has a chance, an outside chance. They can win this or get right back into the picture. But the Hawks have a wonderful chance. They win this game. They win the Norris Division. They tie it. Then it forces St. Louis to win both the games on the weekend against the Blackhawks. But they're in good shape, obviously. They just got to come out with the same type of performance in their own building. They can't come out here and try to put on a show in front of the hometown crowd. You got to play it tight. Play it like they're playing it on the road. Don't take any chances, and don't give the North Stars that many good scoring chances. Also, stay out of the penalty box. Don't take any dumb penalties.
The Blackhawks last night as a team probably checked better than they have checked against anybody for many, many games. And one of the best players on the ice last night for Chicago was wearing number 6.
Well, the veteran Bob Murray, I think he's having his best year ever. He's been their most consistent defenseman, and he came up with his best performance of the year besides, especially when they were 2 men short. He blocked numerous attempts on goal and really then set up the initial goal. He just was spectacular all night long.
The game-winning goal last night was scored by the third line as the experiment continues, and a look at the future where right wing Ed Olczyk has now been moved into the center slot.
Well, Eddie is he's so happy to be there. He's been grumbling about not playing center the last year and a half. He gets his opportunity. He struggled a bit in his first game at center in that first period, but after that, ever since then, he's starting to feel more and more comfortable, and Yaremchuk as well is starting to play. He's really eager about it, and he's getting the puck more and more, and he's started to be effective. He's got 2 goals in his last 2 games.
There's one thing about this hot rivalry between the Blackhawks and the North Stars, and that is each team, I think, take great delight in going into the other guy's building and playing well.
Well, home ice really doesn't make a difference as far as these clubs are concerned. These fans really pick up the North Stars as well, and they get on Cicerelli, and they sometimes save their best performance. It doesn't matter, as we mentioned last night, who's struggling or who's hot. When they meet, it's like both teams are just starting from scratch.
The North Stars have strung together a very good road record this year. They have 16 wins away from home, and they are only 2 games below 500 on the road so far this year. The Blackhawks, with their victory last night, took a slim lead in the season series. The Hawks lead 3 games, 3 wins to 2 wins for Minnesota, and there has been 1 tie. The Blackhawks and the North Stars getting ready for the finale of this home-and-home series and the final regular season meeting. We'll come back with the starting lineups momentarily. Right now, the first period face-off is coming up. But first, we'll pause and enjoy the anthem.
Pause to the stadium organ in the singing and playing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming on the rocket red glow, the bumpers still there. Oh, sing us the star-spangled banner yet wave. For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, are they ever ready here in the stadium tonight? Your officials for the game, the referee will be Andy Van Helleman, the linesman Kevin Collins and John D'Amico.
John Casey gets a start, a surprise move, his 26th appearance. 10 wins, 11 losses, and 1 tie, 3.85 goals against average. And Murray Bannerman, responsible in a large way for the win last night. 19, 18, and 6, looking for his 20th win for the 4th straight season. His goals against 4.51. He's slowly cutting it down.
Here's the draw now as we get underway. Wayne Presley clears it down into the Minnesota zone. Frazier chopped it over to the far side. Gordy Roberts hit there by Presley. Puck cleared to the near board, and Hospodar for Minnesota. Ed Hospodar, a two-line pass to Dennis Marouk, and the whistle sounds.
Dennis Marouk, who scored the lone goal for the North Stars. Really a player that was a question mark whether he'd still wear a Minnesota North Star uniform, but he's performed extremely well in the last couple of months for this red-hot North Star club.
Now they're ready. Here's the draw of the North Star zone, taken by Roberts back of the net. Gordy Roberts, a long feed, missing. Marouk slides into the Hawk zone. Ben Wilson is back. Wilson rolled it along the far side and came right back to him. Now he feeds Frazier. Kurt Frazier over the line on the far board. Centered one. Presley, shoot! And a save by Casey, who looked anxiously behind himself as if he wasn't sure he had made the save.
Well, the Hawks get the first scoring chance. Frazier stopped it inside the line, almost collided with Troy Murray, made the pass to Presley. Presley with a nice job picking it up off his skates and letting the shot go through the legs of Casey, but Casey was able just to cover up in time. Casey, who played at the University of North Dakota, was a teammate of Troy Murray.
Face off to his left. Here's the draw, taken by Dave Langevin. Cleared it to Cicerelli, who couldn't get it out. Now Ron Wilson. He'll try the far side. Scott Bukestad tied up there, lost the handle to Larmer, but then was able to poke it back to center ice. Steve Larmer for Chicago. Cleared it into the North Star zone. Secord racing after it, but Casey charged out of the net to poke it away. Now Doug Wilson centered it. Tipped in front. And the North Stars' Ron Wilson came up with it. Clearing it out to center. Now to Neil Broughton over the line, but he stepped in just ahead of the play. And the offside whistle blows.
Good job by Steve Larmer, back checking to take it away from Broughton and force the offside. Larmer, admittedly suffering last night, did not really feel good. He just said he didn't have his legs.
Larmer has not had a great deal of success against Minnesota this year. In the 7 previous games, Larmer with just 1 goal and 2 assists against the North Stars. Here's the draw to Neil Broughton over the line. Broughton trying to center one. Bannerman sticks it to the near corner. Bukestad digging there with Secord. Now Cicerelli poked it free, shoots one, and a save by Bannerman. Rebound taken by Secord. Secord shooting it down to the North Star end. Now here's a steal by Savard, moving in front, centered it. Larmer didn't see the pass coming, and the North Stars move back. Cicerelli to the line, shoot! That's deflected wide of the net. Now cleared behind the goal. Dino Cicerelli took a hit there from Doug Wilson. Came to Roberts. Roberts on the far side, centered it. Acton, the shot. Bannerman, great save on Keith Acton. Rebound to the far side, and the Hawks try to clear but can't get it out. Rouse to Bukestad in the corner. Knocked away to O'Callahan, and he's going to roll it down into the Minnesota zone. Hawks changing on the move as Bob Rouse gets back. Now clearing to center ice, Dirk Graham. Over to the line to Acton, back to Graham near side. His shot, he scores! hard one by Bannerman on the short side, the glove side. A bad angle goal there, and the North Stars lead 1-0.
All season long, Bannerman's had difficulty with that high hard one to the short side. Graham from the circle to the left of Bannerman, and Bannerman was leaning to his right. Graham, who has a good shot, pumped it in on the short side. Just under the glove and pad, as Bannerman was pulling up, expecting a higher shot.
22nd of the year for Dirk Graham. And the North Stars get out in front. Here's the draw to Acton. Heath Acton moving to the line, shoots one. Bannerman ducked out of the way of that one as it whistled by his ear. Now Yaremchuk on right wing. Took a hit from Lawton. Yaremchuk wants to freeze it. Having trouble doing it. It squirts free to Olczyk. And Olczyk clearing to Sutter. Back to Olczyk over the line. Olczyk trying to move in front. Knocked away by Roberts. And it came in behind the net to Roberts. Gord Roberts gave it to Bob Rouse, now Acton. And Bob Murray knocked him off the puck, but Graham carries on. His pass broken up. And the Hawks clear it back into the North Star zone. Now this will be an icing call against Chicago. We're early in the game. It's Minnesota 1, Chicago 0. Back after this on Sports Vision at WBBM.
Are you ready for the biggest carpeting sale of the year? It's the grand opening of Empire's giant new warehouse. We've cut prices on every one of our major brands from $6.95 a yard right on up. And all our sale prices include padding, installation, 72-hour delivery, a free phone or shampoo, and no payment for 60 days. So call Empire right now and get a whole warehouse on sale instead of just a few colors.
588-2300 Empire.
Do it now.
Dirk Graham, a free agent, scoring his 22nd goal of the season. He's really fit in well to Lauren Henning's plans and has played regularly all season long.
Here's the draw to Ron Wilson, a long shot. Bannerman the save. Now Presley back to the net for Ben Wilson. Brings it around the boards to Frazier on left wing. Kurt Frazier steaming over the line. Pushed it in behind the goal. Now Nielsen put it to the near side. They battle away on the boards. Ron Wilson takes control. Cleared it to Dennis Marouk. Now Marouk cleared it down into the Hawk end. Murray Bannerman shoveled it to the far side. Taken by Langevin, and shot is blocked. Trickling to the near corner. Marouk is there. Centered one. Stolen by Presley. Wayne Presley for Kurt Frazier over the line. Frazier back pass to Ben Wilson. Into the far corner. Centered it. Just missing Presley in front. Now the North Stars clear, but Marouk is knocked flat by Troy Murray. Murray's going to get a penalty. What was wrong with that? The players couldn't hear the whistle because of the noise level. Now the play is finally stopped. It's 1-0 North Stars. And they're going to get a power play after this on Sports Vision and WBBM.
Darryl, it's 110 stories high.
World's tallest building. You ready?
Darryl, are you sure these will hold us?
No problem. They'll take us all the way to the top.
But Darryl-
There'll be endorsements,
Darryl-
TV appearances, books. We'll make millions. You ready?
Are you sure these will hold?
Trust me. They'll stick like glue.
There's an easier way to reach new financial heights. Play Lotto.
First penalty of the game, a questionable call. Troy Murray leveled Dennis Marouk. He saw Marouk with his head down. 1, 2, 3. Flattens Marouk, but a good call by Van Helleman. More than 2 strides, it's a charging penalty. And Troy Murray took at least 3.
North Stars at 24% with their power play this year. Here's the draw now to Neil Brott. Clearing it into the Chicago zone. Doug Wilson back. Turning, clears it down all the way. Now Wilson for the North Stars. Gave it to Cicerelli. Back to Ron Wilson. He gave it to Butch at center. Doug Wilson knocked him down along the board. Came free to Bob Murray, and he clears it down all the way. Neil Broughton, the leading scorer for Minnesota, puts Bukestad over the line. Bukestad bumped off the puck, but Ron Wilson held it in. Feeding to the deep slot, Broughton for Bukestad, near side. Scott Bukestad, side of the net for Acton. Back to the line for Wilson. Now Broughton in the slot. Cleared it to the far side. That's Cicerelli. Dino Cicerelli. The side of the net for Bukestad. The shot! Well, that may have got a piece of the post. Came to the near side, held in by Broughton. Broughton put it to Cicerelli. He centered it. Wilson, the drive! And a save by Bannerman. That one may have missed the net, but Bannerman taking no chances with a quick gloved hand.
Two great saves in a row by Bannerman after giving up that easy one, that first goal. Wilson moves in, cranks it up to the glove side. Bannerman reaching back and snares it.
The broadcast rights to this game have been granted to Sports Vision and WBBM-AM by the Chicago Blackhawks solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the consent of Sports Vision and WBBM-AM is prohibited. 45 seconds left on the North Star power play here. Minnesota leading 1-0. Face off to the left of Murray Bannerman. Ludzik and Maruk ready. Maruk won the draw to Ron Wilson. He centered one. Here's Bellows putting it through the slot behind Maruk, though. Graham got it to the line. Broughton in the deep slot. Rolled it for Brian Bellows. Centered one. It was behind Graham. Bob Murray gave it to Ludzik, and he clears it down all the way. Time for one more power play rush for Minnesota. Here's a steal by Bob Murray, though, and he clears it the length of the ice. Now the North Stars, Maruk. Moving it over the line, Graham on the near side, trying to center it. Stolen by Ludzik, and he clears the center ice. That'll do it for the Hawk penalty. It's over now, and both teams are back at full strength. Dirk Graham. His pass picked off by Doug Wilson to Patterson. Rick Patterson gains the line for Olczyk. Shoot! It's blocked out the defense. Now Olczyk hustling after it. Then he's knocked down in the corner. And the North Stars, Nielsen moves back. Gave it to Bellows. Ryan Bellows lost the handle to Ben Wilson, and he shoots it in, but offside.
And Olczyk tried to break the defense, was tied up by Ron Wilson. Wilson wouldn't let him go. He had a hold of Olczyk's leg, and Olczyk roughed him up with the glove in the face. Nothing happened after it.
Face-off will be right at the Hawk line. There's the draw to the North Stars. Roberts shooting it in. Ben Wilson back. Wilson now starts it away. Carries to center. Now feeds Troy Murray over the line near side. Shoot! Shot it wide. Rebound to the far board. Presley bumping there. Got it to the line. Brown a long shot. Missed the net. Now taken by Willie Plett. Turning behind the net. He lost the handle. Troy Murray then had it knocked away. Nice defensive play from Nielsen, who cleared it to center ice. Keith Brown on the far side. Nursing a bad hip, but he's in the lineup, and Brown shoots it in. Taken by Rouse, and he cleared it to the Chicago zone. Now Ben Wilson has room to center. Takes a long shot. Casey gloving that to Roberts. Gord Roberts, right wing to Graham. Dirk Graham's pass broken up by Olczyk nicely. And Ed Olczyk rolled one to center ice. O'Callahan there, flipping it down to the North Star zone. Dave Langevin is on it. Brings it around the boards to Lawton, and he chopped one to center ice. Now the Hawks move back in. Sutter over the line. Centered one. Too far for Yaremchuk in front, but he got to it in the corner. Out to the line, O'Callahan. He rolled it in behind the net, Sutter. Darryl Sutter centered one. Knocked down by Acton in front. And back come the North Stars. Graham over the line against Doug Wilson. Tries to walk in. Wilson took him right off the puck beautifully. Now the Hawks want to freeze it. Yaremchuk going for a whistle, but it squirts free. Here's Lawton trying to center one, stolen by Yaremchuk. Ken Yaremchuk in over the line, and Brian Lawton was back defensively to break up the rush. Now the North Stars shoot it down. This will be an icing call against Minnesota. Just over 11 minutes to go in the first. 1-0 North Stars. Back after this on Sport Vision and WBBM.
We got what it takes, true value. We got what it takes.
Take on any spring cleaning chore with versatile 45-gallon True Value trash and yard bags. In April, get a box of 35 bags for just $4.99. Look for the Bargain of the Month banner at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
We got what it takes, true value.
Pat Foley and Dale Talon in Chicago Stadium with a face-off in the North Star zone, taken by Roberts in behind the net. Roberts bangs it out to center ice. Now taken by Bob Murray. He tried to clear and did, but then Broughton brought it in offside a couple of times tonight. The players have had trouble hearing the whistles. Play continued there for just a moment before the linesman let everybody know that the whistle had sounded.
Neil Broughton, who set a record for assists in a season by a North Star, breaking Bobby Smith's old record, 74 assists, 102 points, held off the score sheet last night. This whole line, Savard, Secord, and Larmer played against him at every opportunity, won the battle.
Here's the draw taken by Bob Murray. Murray to the right wing boards Larmer. He feeds Savard. Dennis Savard over the line, turning on the far side. Threw it across to DuPont. He centered one, stolen in front by Wilson, who clears the center ice. Here's Broughton over the line. Left it for Cicerelli. The drive blocked by Bob Murray beautifully. And Larmer starts the Hawks back. Clearing it down into the North Star zone. Taken by Roberts. He nearly coughed it up, but Bugstad helped out. Scott Bugstad now hits the Hawk line. Left it for Ron Wilson. Centering. Nice play by Ben Wilson to break it up. North Stars had a man all alone in front, and Ben Wilson broke up the pass with a beautiful sliding move. Here the Hawks moving back. Savard, the drive, and a save by Casey. Rebound, Ben Wilson, a shot. That hit Larmer in front. Taken by Sutter, centering, stolen by Broughton. And Neil Broughton pushed it out to center ice. Here's Olczyk back over the line to Brown. Cutting it for Olczyk. Deflected away. Nice play by Roberts. And now in behind the net, they'll battle there. Squirts free to Olczyk. A shot and a save by Casey. Rebound to the near side, and Cicerelli clearing it into the Hawk zone. Great defensive work at either end, once by Ben Wilson and once by Gord Roberts. Here comes Yaremchuk over the line. Moves in behind the net, centering. Sutter couldn't get the wood on it. And here's Bellows moving back. Brian Bellows over the line, left it for Maruk. Trying to center one. Ben Wilson stopped the play again. Feeding Sutter. Darryl Sutter hits the line. Now his pass broken up, but Olczyk held it in. Then his feed is intercepted by Nielsen. Kent Nielsen over the Hawk line against O'Callaghan, walking in. Left it for Maruk. A shot. He scores! Dennis Maruk using Doug Wilson as a screen. Blew it by Bannerman low on the glove side. 2-0 North Stars.
Maruk getting his 20th, but Kent Nielsen, great stick handler, drops it. Wilson's playing the body on Maruk. He doesn't see the puck, and Maruk does a good job to pull it in and let it go through the skates of Doug Wilson. The low, quick wrist shot beat Bannerman. Doug Wilson can't look behind him. He doesn't realize the puck's in his feet. And the North Stars, after some end-to-end action, pull ahead 2-0. A wide-open first period, and I don't think that's the style you want to play against this North Star club. Overall, I think they've got better team speed.
So it's 2-0 Minnesota, and here comes Bellows over the line. Turning on the near side, trying to center one. Maruk. A turnaround shot that wound up in the corner, taken by Wayne Presley. Here's Presley with room to center ice. He hits the line, trying to go end-to-end. He's turned around as he tried to split the defense. Now Frazier on the far side. poked it to the line. Bob Murray, a long shot, tipped, and it deflected up over the crossbar. Here's Troy Murray near side, centered one. Oh, Frazier hit the side of the net with an open side. Frazier, as he was being dumped, hit the side of the goal. In behind the net, Casey put it to the near side. DuPont holding it in for Troy Murray. Murray now had it knocked away back to the Hawk zone. DuPont has it there. Jerome DuPont takes a long shot. Casey gloving that. Gave it to Rouse. Bob Rouse to Neil Brutt. Brutt trying to move over the line. O'Callahan stopped him. Cleared it to Savard. Dennis Savard knocked down by McKechnie. The play goes on. Here's O'Callahan moving in. Fires! And he set it up off the glass. Rebound. There's going to be a penalty coming up. And a delayed call against Minnesota. Now the whistle sounds as the North Star player, Hospodar, is slow to get up. The Hawks are going to go to the power play. It's Minnesota 2, Chicago nothing. Back after this on Sports Vision at WBBM.
You can take off, you can take it all in. You can be the best. You can see it. Blue skies fading tonight. Head for home where love is shining bright.
Cavalier, America's best-selling car line. The #1 choice for people who know where they're going. Drive today Chevy. Live today Chevy. Cavalier.
Finally, the North Stars get a penalty called against them. They could have had 3 or 4 in this last shift. And at the tail end of it, Van Helleman finally called a holding penalty on Savard against Savard as he tried to get to a rebound after a shot that never got through. O'Callahan's shot hit Steve Larmer in the back of the shins.
Blackhawks were 0 for 4 last night on their power play. And could certainly use something here to get a little wind in their sails. Here's the draw. Taken by Doug Wilson at center. Now Bob Murray cleared it ahead to Larmer, but he jumped the gun and stepped in just ahead of the play.
I don't think this is the style of play that the Hawks wanted to be involved with. End-to-end action, wide open. Got to slow the North Stars down, take the body on them, grind them out.
Face-off in the neutral zone. Now controlled by Bob Murray. Feeding Savard over the line. Dennis Savard on the near side. Stopping in the corner. Center one. Larmer a shot. Shot it up off the glass. Rebound to Larmer. For Bob Murray. Now Doug Wilson at the line. Put it on Savard's stick. Dennis Savard had trouble handling it. Lost it to Rouse. And Bob Rouse trying to clear. Couldn't get it down as Bob Murray steals. Moves back into the North Star end. Feeding Larmer. Moving in. Centered it. And it's blocked by Casey out in front. They battle behind the net. Here's Larmer digging forward into the corner. Jammed it loose to Secord. Secord trying to center. It's kicked right back to him. Out to the line, Murray. For Doug Wilson. Back to Bob Murray. Then again to Wilson. Gave it to Murray. Side of the net for Larmer. Coughed it up, and Acton shoots it down all the way. .45 seconds for the Hawk power play. As Doug Wilson now feeds over the line. Old check far side. Left it for Brown, who was unable to hold it in. Hawks have to regroup at center ice. Keith Brown to Olczyk over the line. Olczyk battling with Langevin along the boards. Now had it taken away by Nielsen, and he shoots it down the length of the ice. Time for one more rush here on this power play for the Hawks. As Brown feeds Ben Wilson. Wilson now sends one in. Over to the far side. Frazier had it knocked away to Nielsen. Then he tackled him, and Frazier's going to get a penalty here. Frazier you could see the jersey of Nielsen in the grip of Kurt Frazier, and he draws the penalty. 2-0 North Stars. Back after this on Sports Vision and WBBM.
It's that time again. Off-the-wall deals time. A new shipment of vehicles is headed for your Toyota dealer. Posted on his showroom wall are all the models, colors, and options. Everything you need to make your selection. Plus, your dealer really wants to talk deals in order to sell these Toyotas before they arrive. And that could mean big savings. But remember, once they do arrive, off-the-wall deals time is over. Great off-the-wall selection and deals at your Toyota dealers now. Who could ask for anything more?
Kurt Fraser in the penalty box for holding. Not a wise move on his part. Deep in the offensive zone, he grabbed the jersey of Kent Nielsen and pulled him down. Must-kill situation. As soon as his penalty was called, Hospodar's expired. Now it's a power play for the North Stars.
Here's Kent Nielsen back of his own goal. Nielsen now has a little room to center. Lost it there as Ludwig trying to steal. Shot it into the North Star bench. Let's take 10 for identification. This is Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
You're watching the station that brings you the Blackhawks, the Bulls, the White Sox, and the Sting. Sports Vision.
Face off at center ice now, taken by the North Stars. Ron Wilson. He comes to center ice, feeding Kent Nielsen. Nielsen steps over the line, stops at the far point, rolled it across to Wilson, gave it back to Nielsen. Far side, Cicerelli. Cleared it to the side of the net. Neil Broughton turns to the corner. Now Broughton rolled it to Cicerelli, out to the line. Dino Cicerelli moves back to the far corner. Broughton center one. They score all alone with Scott Bukestad in front. The pass trickled through Bannerman, and Bukestad had the open side. 3-0 North Star.
With Keith Brown on the bottom part of the box, way up high, forcing it, making it a 2-on-1 situation, low at the Hawk net. You've got to be low at the bottom part of the box, play the box. The box broke down. There were 3 guys up high and only 1 guy back. Brown commits, 2 guys over on the one side, and it works as a 2-on-1, and Bukestad puts it in. They tried it on the last power play. Ben Wilson had to make a great defensive play to break it up as he slid across. That time the pass went under a stick right to Bukestad.
So the North Stars have shot 3 silencers into the sellout crowd here tonight. And they lead 3-0. Here's the draw, and it's iced by Minnesota.
Blackhawks are back on Sports Vision Saturday when they face the St. Louis Blues. Join Pat and myself for all the action from the St. Louis Arena starting at 7:30 on Sports Vision and 7:20 on BBM AM. And a reminder, the weather is always unpredictable in Chicago, so you have to stay in touch. You can do that with BBM AM's Weather Command 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Face-off will be to the right of John Casey here. 4.5 minutes to go in the opening period. 3-0 in favor of the North Stars. Here's the draw. Gord Roberts to Maroot. Dennis Maroot to center ice, sending it in. DuPont is back, who gave it right away. Willie Plett in the near corner, but he overskated it. Now they battle along the boards. Plett dumped by Bob Murray. Now Troy Murray stepped into him heavily, and Frazier digs back. Kurt Frazier to Troy Murray over the line. Fakes the shot, trying to walk in. He's turned around. And puck goes in behind the net. Frazier trying to center one that's deflected to McKegney. Tony McKegney, a long shot, deflects into the Hawk zone. Taken by Ed Olczyk. Here's Olczyk on the right wing boards, moving over the line. Shoots one. Fired it high. Rebound. Oh, and Presley tried to stuff it in and just had it knocked away. Now Olczyk moving in a backhander, and he shot it wide. There's Frazier on the far side. Trying to put it into the corner. Langevin has it there to Tony McKegney. McKegney clearing it to the Hawk line. Ben Wilson there. Moves back in, shooting. Deflected up over the glass and into the crowd. It's 3-0 North Stars. Back to the stadium after this on Sports Vision and WBBM.
Give me a light. Go! Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Give me a light.
Bud Light. So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light.
Thank you.
Because everything else is just a light.
Bukestad gets his 43rd goal on the power play. That a record for left wingers on the North Stars, breaking Steve Payne's record of 42 goals. Bukestad having a tremendous year.
We talked about him last night as being a major surprise for this club. Indeed, he has been. Scott Bukestad last year played 72 games, scored 11 goals. Now here's a shot, the Hawks score! Keith Brown from the far point, and Casey just muffed it. It appeared to be right into his midsection. It hit off the heel of his glove and bounced in, and the Hawks now trail 3-1.
Well, the Hawks get a much-needed break to draw one cleanly. Wilson kept it in, got it over to Brown, his low shot, or waist-high shot, I should say. It wasn't screened, and it just went through the legs of Casey. He just misplayed it. The Hawks get back that one goal that Vanderman blew on Graham.
So now it's 3-1 Minnesota. Here's the draw to Ben Wilson. A shot. Casey kicks that one up over the glass and into the crowd.
Keith Brown getting his 11th goal of the year on that long shot. He's victimized on that last shorthanded situation for the Hawks.
That was one that John Casey would like to have another chance at, because it was right into his glove and it just hit off the heel and bounced in.
Assist number 23, Ben Wilson, and number 29, Steve Lusig. Time of the goal, 16:40. Blackhawks goal.
So that put the Hawks on the board. Here's the draw to Doug Wilson. Wilson clearing it into the North Star zone. Casey put it to the far side, and it's cleared to center. Secord has it there. Gave it to Jack O'Callahan. Now his pass was at the feet of Larmer, who's bumped along the boards, but Secord carries on. Secord into the deep slot, shoots one, and a save by Casey, who's going to hang on long enough for a whistle. Now that goal for the Blackhawks was their 339th for the year. That's a team record. That's more than any other Chicago club has ever scored.
Meanwhile, they've given up 338. Dennis Savard's line, only their third shift in the first period.
Here's the draw to Larmer, shooting, he scores! Savard won the draw, and Larmer walked into the slot. Casey again got a piece of it, but it trickled in by. 3-2 now in favor of the North Stars.
And thank you very much, John Casey. 2 in a row, he gives the Hawks. Savard won the draw. Larmer on his forehand moves into the slot. And right through the legs again of Casey as he was out of position. That wasn't one of Steve Larmer's better shots.
31st goal of the year for Steve Larmer. And all of a sudden the Blackhawks are right back in the hunt. And trail just 3-2. Now the draw. Taken by Presley, lost it to Ron Wilson. His pass intercepted by Bob Murray, who chops it down to the North Star zone. Troy Murray is hustling to save the icing. Came to the near side, Presley. Wayne Presley in behind to Troy Murray. His pass didn't get through. Now Frazier digs to the corner. Jammed it loose to Murray. Out to the line, DuPont, a long shot. Blocked out the defense. Here come the North Stars back. Dennis Maroot beating Nielsen, who couldn't hold the pass. And the Hawks clear it back to the North Star zone. Just under 2 minutes left in the first period as it's cleared down into the Chicago end. Bob Murray gets back. Murray a long feed to Presley at center. Now Frazier overskated it. Here's Acton moving back, trying to center one. Here's a shot. Graham's drive blocked by Brown. Trickling to the goal mouth. Bannerman found on it. Now he got a fortunate bounce right into his midsection. Some adventures at the goal mouth at both ends of the rink.
That time Bannerman came out of the net to play it, and he had no reason to. Greg Frazier was there. Olczyk would have gotten to it as well, but Acton just lifted the stick from Bannerman and almost got a gift goal.
Of the season, scored by number 28, Steve Larmer. Assist to number 18, Dennis Savard. Time of the goal, 17:33.
The face-off here will be to the right of Bannerman.
17:33.
Olczyk and Acton will get ready for the draw. There it is, taken by Brown. Heath Brown, away to Yaremchuk. Ken Yaremchuk to the line, a long shot. Casey gloving that. Now gave it to Rout. He cleared it out to Keith Acton. Now he puts Graham over the line, and Ben Wilson picked his pocket nicely. Cleared it ahead to Yaremchuk. Bumped along the near side. Now kick loose to Acton. He scoots over the line. Acton cuts right for the net. Shoots. He scores! Keith Acton broke up the Hawk rush at center ice and moved in 2-on-1, firing it by Bannerman to the stick side. 4-2, Mini.
Everyone expected last night's game to be a 6-5, 7-6 encounter. It wasn't. It was a 2-1 game. Great goaltending tonight. Goaltending non-existent. That time, Acton broke in and beat Bannerman to the stick side after Olczyk couldn't catch up with Acton in the neutral zone. Acton walked in and deflected it in off the blocker of Bannerman. Last shot wins.
That may turn out to be a very large goal for the North Stars when we look back at this game. Hawks climbing to within 3-2, but a goal in the final minute of the period, making it a 4-2 Minnesota lead. Here's the draw into the North Star zone. On the far side, Secord rolled it to Savard on the board. Savard walks into the slot, a backhander. Blocked at the defense. Now we're going to get a penalty as Savard was knocked down in front. And the North Stars will be a man short here.
Dave Langevin goes right to the box. He had a hold of Savard. Savard wheeled and cut into the slot on his backhand. After his attempted shot, he went to the corner to get the loose puck, and he was pulled down by Langevin.
Unassisted by Acton at 19:06.
Well, Keith Acton's goal, an unassisted tally at 19:06, makes it 4-2.
Minnesota penalty, number 26, Dave Langevin. A few minutes for a holding at 19.
So the Blackhawks here with a power play. And the faceoff will be to the right of Casey. Now Savard and Acton get ready. Keith Acton's goal was his 26th of the year. Here's the draw right to Doug Wilson. Here it comes. He scores! Another one right through Casey. Boy, oh boy, the Blackhawks with 3 goals, all of which Casey got a piece of, but not enough. It's 4-3 now.
The draw one back to Wilson. The wicked shot hit as Casey was going to his knees, it hit the inside of his right skate and flew into the net. Wilson with a low bullet, no one in front of Casey. He saw it all the way, but 3 straight shots on Casey that he just blew.
Doug Wilson raising his total to 16 goals for the year. Here's the draw into the North Star zone. Taken by Rouse. Bob Rouse clearing to Dirk Graham, who flips it into the Hog zone, and that's going to do it for the first period. A wild and woolly period here in the stadium to open up this game. Eventful at both ends of the ice. The North Stars opened the scoring when Dirk Graham beat Bannerman to the short side from Acton and Roberts at 2:28 to make it 1-0. Then it was Dennis Marouk from Nielsen at 10:59. Then a North Star power play goal scored by Bukestad from Broughton and Cicerelli at 15:09 for a 3-0 North Star lead. The Blackhawks got on the board when Keith Brown's shot was muffed into the net by Casey. Brown's 11th from Ben Wilson and Steve Ludzik at 16:40. And Steve Larmer got his 31st of the season from Savard at 17:33 to make it 3-2. The North Stars' Keith Acton scored unassisted at 19:06. But the Hawks got that back on Doug Wilson's power play goal, his 16th from Savard at 19:44 of the 1946 make it of the first period. Shots on goal in the opening period. The Hawks had 16, the North Stars 9. Well, if the rest of the game is like this, fasten your seatbelts. News, weather, and sports is coming up on the radio side, and on television, Dale will have a visit with Hawk veteran defenseman Bob Murray. That's all coming up in the first intermission tonight. At the end of one, it's Minnesota 4 and Chicago 3.
Drop everything and come to Schomburg Toyota's Drop Everything sales event and save as never before. Schomburg Toyota is dropping prices to a crashing low, dropping prices so you can't say no. Dropping everything to give you anything you want in a new Toyota car or truck deal. So drop everything. Prices may never go lower. So drop everything and come into Schomburg Toyota, 875 Gulf Road in Schomburg.
Follow the Chicago White Sox on Sports Vision all season long. It's the quest for the West. From the opening pitch to the game-winning home run, Sports Vision is where you can capture all the line drives, the spectacular catches, and acrobatic double plays of the White Sox. It's the Sox in '86, the quest for the West on Sports Vision, Chicago's winners on cable.
What's going down in this town? The Chicago Bulls. They're a whole new breed.
Well, it was a defensive struggle last night in the Met Center, and what a difference 24 hours makes.
Well, I commented before the game that the Hawks have to play this one like they're playing on the road. Don't come into this first period and have to put on a show for these excited fans here. Just pretend they're on the road and play like they did last night. But no, they come out here and they want to put on a show and get into an offensive type game, a skating game against Minnesota. And if you do that, all three of their lines, overall their team speed is much better. And you're in for a long night if you want to skate with Minnesota. You've got to grind it out, bump and grind. They're not that type of a hockey club. If you're able to slow them down like the Blackhawks did last night, that's the kind of game you will be successful in. But this type of game is not the game that the Hawks want to get involved with.
So the Hawks lead, or trail rather, 4-3 after 20 minutes here in the stadium, and we're going to update you on what else is going on in the NHL tonight. A lot of games that have bearing on different races for all sorts of positions in the races around the NHL. Let's see what else is going on in the league tonight.
Well, there's some great rivalries and some games as far as playoffs concerned still up in the air. As it stands right now, Toronto would open in Chicago for the first two games, and that would be an interesting series. And Minnesota and St. Louis, we don't know where they would open, but that would also be a tough series because they also play each other quite tough. Vancouver will play Edmonton, and that'll be an easy series for Edmonton. That'll go 3 straight. Winnipeg, Calgary, who knows? Calgary's come on of late and played well. Winnipeg under new coach John Ferguson have really started to blossom in the playoff run, so that'll be a pick 'em series. Philadelphia, Washington, a battle for first place. I think Philadelphia will win first place. Washington's got bad news. Gartner and Gustafson out for the year. Quite a battle, though, for first place. The Islanders and I think the Rangers. The Pittsburgh's losing to the Islanders tonight, and the Rangers are ahead of Philadelphia. And it looks like the Rangers are going to get that last playoff spot. It's too bad because it would be great to see Mario Lemieux in a playoff situation.
Well, I don't think it'll be long before you do, but elsewhere in the Adams division, some games that mean something to different teams tonight.
Quebec has got first place locked up. They're playing against New Jersey, so they will probably end up with 93 points after this game. Detroit, Montreal, big win for Montreal. They're tied with Boston, and they'll probably play Boston in the first round. Home ice is the difference there. Hartford will probably get that last playoff spot and play against Quebec.
So the Buffalo Sabres losing in Hartford last night, a major loss for them, and the Whalers have a chance to get in the NHL playoffs for just the second time since they came into the league. Here it's 4-3 mini at the end of one. Dale will have a visit with Bobby Murray after this timeout.
This Bud's for all that you do.
They said this city was through. You said, no way.
Each day the spirit's growing. Your pride is really showing. You make America work, and this Bud's for you.
Here's to you. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This Bud's for you.
I told you, it's him. Are you sure this is his blazer? Just wait, okay? Hey, Mike, is that really your car?
Yep.
He really does drive a Chevy, told ya.
Play the Illinois Lottery's new Windfall Instant game. You could win $1 million.
Welcome back to the Chicago Stadium. My guest in his first intermission, Bob Murray. And Bob, last night against Minnesota, you had a tremendous game, but you got off to a start, two-man disadvantage, and that seemed to turn things around for you. You did a marvelous job killing it off. What's the key in a two-man disadvantage like that?
Great goaltending, for one. Murray's very good at that. He kicks the puck by the people, like they're getting a lot of shots from the side and the point, and he can't leave them in front of the net because we're outnumbered there. There's no way we can cover that up. So he kicks it by them, and you just hope you can recover and make them move the puck around. And at that point in the hockey game, that could have, they're a hot hockey club. They're playing very well. We're a struggling team. We had to get through that 2 minutes somehow, one goal or no goals. But we had to keep it alive and, fight another battle some other time. So
it's surprising you killed off. You were out there for the whole 2 minutes. Did that really take a lot out of you for the rest of the game?
I felt okay the next couple of shifts, but I was dead in my feet by the end of the first period. You wait for your second wind, and it finally came during the intermission. But late in the first period, it's got its effect. But we get out of the first period 0-0, and that's exactly what we wanted.
The Blackhawks have been struggling against teams, so-called weaker teams. And then you come up in a game like last night, the biggest game of the year, against a good hockey club, and you come up with a great effort. It's got to be puzzling.
Well, you can work as hard as you want, but if you don't have that little, there's all sorts of adjectives, intensity, the extra step, whoever invents them, I don't know, but it's just that wanting it more. And we wanted it more last night than we had in the last couple of weeks. And that makes all the difference in the world. And unfortunately, with our hockey club, the way we play, the type of players we have, if we're not there and if we're not really willing to muck and to go to it, we're not going to win too many hockey games because we have to work hard, all the time, and we have to be involved in the game all the time.
Going into the game now tonight, any chance of a letdown? It looks like first place is yours. All you have to do is nullify Minnesota.
Well, we can still finish first, second, or third. It's not over till it's over, so we've got to be up. It was just pointed out to us that Minnesota's the second best road team in the conference, behind Edmonton, of course, and they're playing very well. I mean, they're skating as well as I've seen them skate in 3 or 4 years, and we've got our hands full, but we've got to show that that desire. We have to want it, and if we want it, then good things happen.
Bob, I think you're having a tremendous year, probably your best year ever. Does it bother you that maybe you don't get the recognition that you so richly deserve?
Oh, you know, I wouldn't say it bothers me. It, you know, my teammates, I think, appreciate me, and that's as important as anything else. And maybe the boss will look after me at the end of the year. It's that time again. But you know, I just try to do my best every night and help the club in any way I can. And winning will compensate for a lot of things.
How about yourself now, getting into the playoffs? Do you feel like you're tired because you see a lot of ice time, you and Dougie Wilson? You feel that you're ready for the playoffs?
Oh, yeah, I think I haven't played that much. Well, back 3-4 weeks ago, I was being rested. I thought I was being rested. I wasn't playing as much, but it's coming a lot of ice time right now, and hopefully we can get through tonight and get it over with, and then maybe, you know, we got 5 or 6 days before the playoffs start. And if you remember last year in the playoffs, we had that night with Minnesota where we were up 4-0 and blew the hockey game and lost Dougie Wilson in the process. So, you know, I'm feeling fine. Dougie's a little bit tired. I think he's been playing more, and you know, tonight let's work hard and get it over with, and then we can have that little rest.
How about playing Toronto? The first round, they won 6 games. It's going to be tough.
You know, we don't give other teams enough credit at times. They play well against us. Their defense handles our forwards well. I mean, they've got big defense, and they handle our forwards well, especially in this building. But as yet, I don't think they've seen us play with intensity. I don't think they have. You know, and the few times they have, we've bombarded them, and they've come out without goaltending. Well, next Wednesday is a different ball game, and we'll see what happens.
Good luck in the new season.
Thanks, Dale.
My guest was Bob Murray. Stay tuned. Pat and I will be back with highlights from the first period after these messages.
I'm going to call about some new carpeting.
Hold it. Before you make that call, you should know if you call anyone but Empire, believe me, you're going to pay extra. Extra for padding, extra for installation. You're going to pay more for the same carpeting, and you're going to wait longer, too, because only Empire includes padding and installation and 72-hour delivery and every price from $6.95 a yard. Only Empire.
I don't care. I'm calling the people I was going to call.
588-2300 Empire. When you want to eat out, relax and have fun, there's a place to find something for everyone. Casual dining and quality food, you know it. Buffo's, come on in. Buffo's means friendly service, great food and family fun.
Now with 2 locations, 431 Sheridan Road in Highwood and in the Deerbrook Mall at the corner of Waukegan and Lakewood Road
Come on
in
in, get that Buffo's feeling now.
The 1985 White Sox suffered through many key injuries, but still managed to finish 6 games behind the Royals. We'll talk to the architects of this year's White Sox, recap the '85 season, and highlight the Grapefruit League performance as we present the first edition of Sox 86 Weekly.
Wild first period in Chicago Stadium tonight. The North Stars leading the Blackhawks by a score of 4-3. Dale Talon's going to talk and show you what happened on all the goals. Take a deep breath, my friend. Ready, go.
7 goals in that first period. We only had 3 all last night, but the Hawks getting involved in an end-to-end type game, and that's not their style. To be successful, they got to grind it out. The North Stars hit the score sheet first. Dirk Graham, a bad angle goal to the short side. Banman was pulling up, and the puck went between his glove and his pad. A gift goal there for Graham is 22nd. Then at 10:59, Kent Nielsen, nice stick handling move, drops it to Maruk. Maruk through the skates of Doug Wilson, the low shot through Bannerman. Bannerman was down, that made it 2-0. Maruk's 20th from Nielsen. Then on the power play, Keith Brown gets caught over on the far side. 2-on-1 situation, the pass from Broughton to Bukestad, bang. 3-0 North Stars. That was at the 15:09 mark. Then at 16:40, off the draw, Keith Brown with a long shot. Casey just misplays it, goes through his legs. It's 3-1, Brown's 11th of the year. Casey wasn't finished. He thought this was Christmas. Savard won the draw, back to Larmer. Larmer in the slot, a weak wrist shot, again through the legs of Casey. and that gave the Hawks some life, made it 3-2. That was Larmer's 31st at 17:33. At 19:06, everybody gets caught. The two defensemen were up even with the forwards. Acton took it away and then beat Bannerman to the stick side. That made it 4-2 at 19:06. On the power play, right off the draw, Dennis Savard won it. Steve Larmer batted it back to Doug Wilson. Wilson cranks it up. Casey sees it all the way. Again, through the legs of Casey. Thank God for Casey. We're right back into the game with 4-3 Minnesota, or otherwise it would be 4-0 Minnesota. Casey had a terrible period, and Bannerman wasn't sharp either.
4 of the 9 North Star shots went in. At the end of one period, it's 4-3 Minnesota. Back for period 2 after this.
Your Toyota dealer, the best place to buy a truck. Here's why. Research shows Toyota dealers have the highest rated service standards and the best record for doing jobs right the first time. They're also #1 for delivery condition and unsurpassed for having needed parts in stock. Plus, your Toyota dealer has the best truck model selection. With incentives to Toyota dealers on selected trucks, you can make your best deal now.
These days, deciding what kind or color of paint to buy can be as difficult as finding a salesperson. But at True Value hardware stores, you'll find knowledgeable salespeople to assist you, plus quality True Test paint. With their modern custom color system, they can help you coordinate colors, and they attend True Test paint training seminars to keep informed on the latest paints and applications. So get quality True Test paint and helpful advice from the specialists at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Where you going, it's Michelob.
This is it. Opening night.
Brian? Party of 2?
You're on your way to the top.
Flavor's just great.
No other beer is brewed and aged like exceptionally smooth Michelob.
Table for 2?
Oh, that'll be about 45 minutes.
We did it.
Where you going, it's Michelob.
We'll be right back with more Blackhawk hockey action on Sports Vision in just a few moments. The decision is unanimous. Come out from your corners and take a seat ringside, because Sports Vision brings you the best in championship boxing. Sports Vision covers world-class boxers from across the country. Don't miss the stinging blows and head-jolting jabs. You'll need some fancy footwork to get away from all the exciting action. Yes, the decision is official. When it comes to the best in boxing, Sports Vision's a knockout. Everyone knows that Sports Vision has live professional sports. But did you know that Sports Vision has an exciting lineup of specials every month? From profiles of famous players to coverage of unique and interesting events, Sports Vision has it all. Whether your interests are in behind-the-scenes close-ups or in fast-paced, high-tension action, Sports Vision is your only choice. So tune in every month for specials you won't want to miss.
Pat Foley and Dale Talon back in Chicago Stadium. The Blackhawks trailing the North Stars 4-3 after a wide-open first period of play. A reminder about the upcoming Canard Blackhawks Caribbean Cruise. Come on along with the Hawks for a little fun in the sun. June 28th through July the 5th. Murray Batterman, Jerome Dupont, Jack O'Callahan, Mark Bergevin, and others will be on hand. And to get more information on this Caribbean cruise, you can call this phone number, 498-4470. In Illinois, 498-4470. If you're calling from out of state, the number is 1-800-423-4817. 800-423-4817 from out of state. Murray Batterman to our left for Chicago. John Casey to our right for Minnesota as we get ready for the second period. Here's the draw to Bob Rouse. Rouse clearing to center ice, bouncing around there. Now Brian Bellows came up with it. Gave it to Marut for Nielsen over the line. His shot and a save by Bannerman. Rebound to Brown. Keith Brown gave it to Ben Wilson. He clears it by everybody down to the North Star zone. But it's on goal, and Casey has to stop it for Roberts. Dennis will be on hand. And to get more information on this Caribbean cruise, you can call this phone number, 498-4470. In Illinois, 498-4470. If you're calling from out of state, the number is 1-800-423-4817. 800-423-4817 from out of state. Murray Bannerman to our left for Chicago. John Casey to our right for Minnesota as we get ready for the second period. Here's the draw to Bob Rouse. Rouse clearing to center ice, bouncing around there. Now Brian Bellows came up with it. Gave it to Maroot for Nielsen over the line. His shot and a save by Bannerman. Rebound to Brown. Keith Brown gave it to Ben Wilson. He clears it by everybody down to the North Star zone. But it's on goal, and Casey has to stop it for Roberts. Now Dennis Maroot turning in his own end. Feeding nicely to Nielsen. Kent Nielsen. Stick handling over the Hawk line. Rolled it to Bellows near side. Dropped it for Nielsen. He couldn't pull the trigger. Puck cleared to the far board. Darryl Sutter has it there. Sutter with room to center ice. Now carries it over the line. Centered one. Olczyk had his stick tied up nicely by Roberts. And Scott Bugstad for Minnesota beats Cicerelli. Dino Cicerelli lost it as he came to the line, and Yaremchuk shoots it back into the North Star zone. Here's Rouse. Bob Rouse walks over the Hawk line. Dropped it back for Broughton, feeding Bugstad, shooting. Bannerman the save. Rebound Cicerelli. Turning on the far side to Broughton. Broughton rolled it in front. Bugstad the shot. Bannerman, point blank save. Rebound taken by Secor. His pass missed Larmer, sliding into the North Star zone, and this will be an icing call against Chicago.
The Hawks getting into some serious trouble on this last shift. Bannerman made 2 saves on Bugstad. And the reason they were in trouble, Bob Rouse carried the puck in. He has 1 goal. All 4 Hawk players backed in and allowed him to cross the line, and that's why Minnesota almost scored the 5th goal.
Mentioned earlier about Scott Bugstad, who scored 11 goals last year, now has 43 this season for the North Stars. This guy was a 9th-round draft choice. He was the 181st player picked in the draft back in '81. And has he ever blossomed into a good one for Minnesota? Here's the draw. Taken by Dino Cicerelli. He shoots it in. Doug Wilson going back, chopped it to the far side, held in by Ron Wilson, but he gave it right to O'Callahan. The pocket picked by Broughton, but unfortunately for the Hawks, Broughton fell down. Here's Savard trying to move over the North Star line. Centered one, bouncing in front. Knocked away from Secord at the last second by Langevin. Now Secord trying to center. In behind it goes to Savard. Dennis Savard looks for an opening. Now threw it in front. Larmer hit the side of the net. Rebounding back to center ice. Larmer had a great chance, but missed the near post with it. Here come the North Stars. Cicerelli in traffic. Lost it to Secord. Now Al Secord lost it in front, but DuPont recovered nicely. Jerome DuPont gave it to Dennis Savard. Savard shovels it in, and the Hawks will change on the go. As Roberts moves back for the North Stars. He gave it away. Presley, a drive, blocked at the defense. Taken by Hospodar. He couldn't get it out. Bob Murray, a long shot. Tip! Oh, great save by Casey. Rebound, Troy Murray. Side of the net, Presley centered one. Stolen in front by Luck. And Brian Luck cleared it down to the Hawk zone. And Bannerman will hang on to it there. A great save by Casey at the other end a moment ago keeps the North Stars in front. It's 4-3. Back after this on Sports Vision at WBBM.
After 23 years playing professional hockey, I can recognize a winning team. The professionals at Hairline Creations teamed up to custom make my supernatural hair replacement. My friends all agree that the consultants at Hairline Creations designed my supernatural to look good whether I'm at business,
playing hockey, or having a late-night dinner with my wife. Bald? Call the best. Hairline Creations, 282-5454. 282-5454.
John Casey, the long shot by Bob Murray, deflected, and then he was able just to kick it away at the last second on the rebound attempt.
Now the draw. Here's a shot, and where is it? It trickled just by the near post. Hospodar from the far point through traffic, and he just barely had it dribble wide. Here's Hospodar again. Bannerman making the save. Rebound taken by Bill Watson on for the first time to Ludzik over the line. Ludzik around Hospodar, shooting. Casey the save, and he holds on.
I thought this period would be a low-scoring, close checking period, but it's gone right back to the way things started in the first period. End-to-end action at both ends. A lot of good scoring chances for either club, and both goaltenders much sharper to start this second period. Casey just coming up there with a glove save on Steve Ludzik.
Face-off will be to the right of John Casey. His former college teammate Troy Murray will get ready for a draw with Dennis Maruk. They need to change pucks. What'd you do, take a bite out of that one?
Well, if I was playing, I probably would have stick handled with it for about 30 seconds. The size of a microchip.
Casey needs a little equipment repair. He's taking care of that. And they're ready for a draw to his right. Troy Murray now with 96 points for the year. Goes for the draw. The face-off taken by Rouse. Back of the net. Bob Rouse has room as he steams to center. Now moves over the line and shovel it in deep. DuPont. Got it to Kurt Frazier. Frazier flipped it ahead, knocked down by Rouse at center with a high stick, and the North Stars were next to touch it, and the whistle sounds.
Once again, the Hawks back in, allow Rouse to carry the puck inside the Hawk line. A guy that has one goal and is not known for his offensive skills, you got to stand up and make a move at him. He'll cough it up. Willie Plett, one of his few shifts, has not played a lot in this game.
Face-off at center ice. The draw taken by Minnesota's Roberts. Roberts shoots it in. Over to the far side. Bouncing loose to Savard. And he gave it to O'Callahan back of the net. O'Callahan away to Savard. Dennis Savard hits the line. Weaving to the far side. Savard scoots in behind the net. Stick handling beautifully. Centered one. Stolen in front by the North Stars. Cicerelli to Roberts. Roberts into the Hawk zone. Beating in front, Cicerelli to Bukestad. He couldn't pull the trigger as it was knocked away to the corner. Now Cicerelli has it there. Dino Cicerelli tied up by O'Callahan. A couple of players pile up in the whistle sound. We've played 5 minutes of the second. 4-3 Minnesota. Back after this on Sports Vision and WBBM.
When there's full-size work to do, nothing works like full-size Chevy trucks.
Well, I get up early, out to make a buck. Me and my hard-working Chevy truck. A cup of coffee, breakfast on the run. We got a job and we gotta get it done. I'm working every day with my Chevy truck. I'm working. Nothing works like a Chevy truck.
Face-off coming to the right of Murray Bannerman in the Hawk zone. Savard and Broughton ready, and the draw taken by Doug Wilson. Gave it to O'Callahan on the near side. Ahead to Savard. Savard stick handling over the line. Lost it to Broughton. Neil Broughton. And lost the handle at center ice, and O'Callahan takes over. Sends it ahead to Secord. He steps into the North Star zone. Shoots one. It's deflected high off the glass. Rebounding to Secord. His pass deflects back into the Hawk end. And O'Callahan has to skate back for it. Jack O'Callahan clears it down to the Minnesota zone. Bob Rouse is back to Roberts. Gordon Roberts cleared it to Nielsen, who couldn't get it out. Taken by Roberts back of the net. Gordy Roberts to Bob Rouse. Presley stole it from him. Presley centered one. Broken up by Marouk in front, and Brian Bellow trying to clear and got it ahead to Marouk for Nielsen over the line. Ken Nielsen far side. The drive blocked by DuPont at the defense and winds up in the crowd, and that one stung DuPont a little bit.
Good defensive play, though, by both defensemen. They each took the right man. North Star player forwards crisscrossed. The Hawk defense didn't commit, and then DuPont stood up on Nielsen, and Nielsen's attempted long shot hit DuPont in the ankle. Perfect defensive coverage there. 3-on-3 situation. Troy Murray took Marouk. The Hawk defense didn't go for the crisscross. They stood their ground and made a good play.
Face off to the left of Murray Bannerman. Now the draw, taken by DuPont. Sets it up behind the net. Now DuPont starts it away to Troy Murray. Murray moves over the line, flips it into the corner. Langevin after it there. Gave it right to Presley. Presley into the corner, now moves in behind the net. Trying to center, and Langevin stole that. Dave Langevin, a long feed to center ice. Nielsen tied up nicely by Bob Murray there. And it came loose to Rouse. He clears to center. Here's Brian Bellows over the line. Fakes the shot. Now turns in behind. Centered one. That didn't get through the traffic. Taken over by the North Stars. There's Lawton trying to move in front. And did he pay the price as Troy Murray and Bob Murray both crunched it? Here's Troy Murray. Back in over the line. Fires, and a save by Casey. Rebound to the North Stars. Dave Langevin tees up a long one, and Bannerman steers that to the near corner. Brown is on it there. Ahead for Presley. Rolled it ahead for Olczyk into the near corner. And Olczyk looking for a play. Centered one. Missed Frazier in front. Now Frazier digs it out. His pass blocked at the defense, bouncing at the side of the net. Frazier came up with it. Knocked down. He tried to center it. Squirt free to the neutral zone. Pete Brown hustled over to get it to Presley, who shoots one in. Now the North Stars move back. There's a two-line pass to Lawton. And the whistle sounds. 12.5 to go in the middle period. 4-3 mini. Back after this on Sport Vision at BBMAN.
What's it take for the best four-wheeling and off-roading? It takes great ground clearance. Toyota's independent front suspension steps high over the toughest terrain. It takes the best cruising range. Toyota lets you explore furthest on a single tank, but most of all, it takes the best reliability. That's what's made Toyota the best-selling small 4x4. Right now, your Toyota dealer has the best stock of 4xs ever. With incentives to Toyota dealers on selected trucks, you can make your best deal now.
Face-off just inside the Minnesota line. As McKegney and Yaremchuk have trouble lining up for a draw. And everybody's going to gather around here. Tony McKegney was really a non-factor in the game last night. Played sparingly and did very little while he was out there. McKegney has not had a point in the last 5 games for Minnesota. He was a real thorn in the Hawks' side last year in the playoffs.
He's only scored 3 goals in his last 27 games.
He had an injury problem earlier in the year, but now here's the draw taken by Ron Wilson back of his own net. Olczyk gave him a rough ride, but Roberts helped out. Ahead for McKegney, who couldn't hold the pass. Now Came to Keith Acton in his own end. He shot it to the Hawk line. Back into the Minnesota zone to Roberts. Feeding McKegney on left wing. He sends it in. Bannerman out of the net to put it to the far side. He gave it right to Acton with a shot. Bannerman got back just in time to stop that. Now Ben Wilson moves away. To Olchek over the line, but Sutter was in offside on the play.
Preseason baseball action continues on Sports Vision tomorrow when the White Sox take on the Toronto Blue Jays. Join Don Drysdale, Frank Messer, and Del Crandall for all the action starting at 11 a.m. only on Sports Vision. Traffic, it's everyone's problem and on the mind of anyone who drives in Chicago. Barry Edwards and Herb Howard help you beat those traffic problems mornings and afternoons on BBM AM.
Here's Bob Rouse for Minnesota, trying to clear Savard, trying to steal, flipped it to the goal mouth. Casey shoots it out of trouble, gets it to Cicerelli at center. Now Bugstad over the line. Scott Bugstad turns on the near side. Rolled it to Brott. Back of the net for Cicerelli. His pass hit the goal. Now they battle in behind the net. Cicerelli trying to stuff it in, and Bannerman shut the door. Back come the Hawks. Steve Larmer 3-on-3. To Savard over the line. Left it for Larmer near side. Trying to walk in. It's poked away. Secor got to it. To Savard in behind. Savard walking in front. The shot! And a save by Casey. Rebound taken to the near corner. O'Callahan pinches in to hold it in for the Hawks. Now O'Callahan a long shot to Larmer. His drive. And Casey got a piece of that. Rebound to Savard. Centering. And it went too far for Larmer, who was knocked out in front. The play goes on. Here comes Minnesota. Bugstad over the line. Left it for Cicerelli to Broughton moving in. Nice play by Doug Wilson to break up the rush. Now Gordy Roberts in the Hawk zone. Threw it in behind the net. Taken by O'Callahan. He bounced one to Larmer for Secor. Now Secor to the line. Fires it. Deflected up off the glass. Rebound taken by Maroot. And he shot it ahead to Kent Nielsen. Over the line for Bellows. Centered one. Nielsen unable to redirect that. Back comes Troy Murray. Leading Frazier. Frazier puts DuPont over the line. DuPont centered one. Too far for Presley in front. Now the North Stars on the counterattack. But a two-line pass taken by Nielsen as they've been going end-to-end the last minute or two. 4-3, North Stars. Back after this on Sports Vision at WBBM.
Some companies rent you a car, and that's it. But Hertz is with you all the way, with customer service representatives to speed you on your way. Computerized driving directions to help you find your way, and 24-hour road service in case you get stuck on the way. So you have a choice for your money. You can rent from a company that just gives you a car, or rent a car that gives you a company. Hertz, you don't just rent a car, you rent a company.
John Casey's a different man in the second period. Made a great save on Troy Murray earlier. On this one here, Steve Larmer gets it from Dennis Savard. Savard gets it back and then tries to stuff it on the backhand. Casey's able to get the right toe on it.
We're halfway through the second period. 4-3 in favor of the North Stars. Now Gord Roberts in his own end to Ron Wilson. Wilson hits the Hawk line as the Hawks all back in. Wilson turns on the near side, left it for Roberts, a shot. Oh, Bannerman made a glove save, and I'm not sure he knew he had it till it hit him in the glove. He looked like he was really fighting that one.
They gave up far too many scoring chances when you're back in. Allow the defenseman to cross the line and set up. Wilson crossed in. Ron Wilson, that is, dropped it. The long shot, the high shot from Roberts. Marouk was standing right there. Waist-high shot over the head of Marouk. Marouk deflects that. It would have been a high stick. Marouk could be good in a short series.
Face off to the right of Murray Bannerman. Now the draw. Taken by Ben Wilson back of the net. He flipped it out to center ice. North Stars try to shoot it back in, but Brown stops it to Olczyk over the line. His pass broken up. Here's the lead for Nielsen. He's in. A breakaway. Kent Nielsen in alone. The shot. He scores! Kent Magic Nielsen had a breakaway from center ice in. There aren't many in the league more adept at working with open ice than Kent Nielsen. It's 5-3 Minnesota.
The last two North Star goals, everyone, including the defense, have gotten caught into the offensive scheme of things. Olczyk's drop pass to Yaremchuk intercepted. Nielsen breaks away, fakes his backhand, pulls it onto his forehand, and beats Bannerman. Oh, you've got to have somebody backing the play up. No one backing the play up. All the defense were inside the line. All 5 Hawk players were ahead of the puck.
So the North Stars increase their lead to 5-3. Here's the draw. Coming into the Hawk zone, Matt Helene with a rare shift, trying to center one. Brown blocked that. Cable's in front, a shot. Oh, Acton just barely missed the net. Rebound to Olczyk. He moves over the line, shooting. He missed the target. Rebounding to the near side, and Graham. Dirk Graham over the Hawk line. Trying to move in, centered one. Blocked by Doug Wilson in front. Now to the goal mouth, and Bannerman had to be alert. Rebound taken by the North Stars' Graham to Acton over the line for Matt Helene. Helene pushed it in behind the goal. O'Callahan gave it to Sutter. Now his speed missed Yaremchuk, sliding down all the way. It'll be an icing call against the Blackhawks. With the score, 5-3 Minnesota. We'll take time after this on Sports Vision and WBBM.
This buzz for all that you do. Somehow you always come through. You keep it going. Your pride's really showing. Nobody shines like you. Yeah, you make America work, and this buzz for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
This buzz for you.
Pat Foley and Dale Talon back in the stadium. North Stars leading Chicago 5-3. Here's the draw. Taken by O'Callahan. Cleared it ahead, missing Larmer. Slides into the North Star zone. Taken by Roberts. Gord Roberts for Bukestad on left wing. He steps over the Hawk line, left it for Broughton. Doug Wilson blocking his shot. Taken now by Savard, who ran into his own man Larmer at center. Now Roberts moving back. His pass stolen by Secord, clearing it into the North Star zone. Taken there by Roberts. Roberts ahead for Broughton over the line. Neil Broughton looking for a play. Now weaving to the near side. Rolled it into the corner, Cicerelli. His pass stolen by Dupont, who clears the center ice. Now shot back to Dupont's stick. Ahead for Larmer. Larmer in over the line. Stick handling in traffic, now trying to walk in, and he had it poked away. Taken by Marouk. Dennis Marouk over the Hawk line to Nielsen. Kent Nielsen in behind, centered one. And Larmer able to steal that. Steve Larmer trying to clear, couldn't get it out. Taken by Bob Murray. There's Murray for Kurt Frazier at center. He sends it in. Dave Langevin got it to the far side. Marouk cleared it to Bellows. Brian Bellows gets over the Hawk line. Bellows the shot, hit the goal post. Bellows fired it by Bannerman's glove, but rattled it off the pipe. In behind the net. They scramble there. And the whistle sounds. Let's take 10 for identification. This is Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
You'll find more of the sports that Chicago sports fans want to see here on Sports Vision.
Brian Bellows again. The Hawks back in. Uses Bob Murray as a screen, and the wicked wrist shot off the goal post.
Face-off to the left of Murray Bannerman. Here's the draw. Taken by Ron Wilson to Graham. A shot. He hit the post, and Bannerman holds on. North Stars lead by 2, and they have come within inches of making it a 4-goal lead in the last half minute.
The Bellows hit the post, and the draw won cleanly that time. And the wrist shot right onto the post again, the same position that Bellows hit it. Graham, who scored the opening goal to the glove side, beating Bannerman to that same position, except from a different angle, he hits the post.
Again, the draw to the left of Murray Bannerman. Here's the face-off. Taken by Bill Watson to Rick Patterson. Patterson hits the line, left it for Ludzik. Ludzik the shot, didn't get through Roberts. Now bouncing around to the North Stars. Acton. Here they come 3-on-2. Helene to Acton over the line. Centered one, and Helene had his stick tied up by Brown nicely. Here come the Hawks back. Steve Ludzik over the line, trying to split the defense, can't do it. Now Patterson carries on. Rick Patterson rolled it in behind to Ludzik. Steve Ludzik fought off a check, the wraparound, and a save by Casey. Ludzik now to the corner, had it knocked away to Ron Wilson. He feeds to Graham. There's Graham tied up, but Ben Wilson held it in. Now his pass stolen by Helene, who shoots at the length of the ice, and an icing call here coming against the North Stars. 5.5 to go in the middle period. 5-3 Minnesota. Back after this on Sports Vision and WBBM.
Michael Jordan. As a freshman, he led North Carolina to the NCAA championship. In the 1984 Olympics, he was captain of the American team that took the gold medal. He's the NBA Rookie of the Year and all-star guard for the Chicago Bulls. And when he drives a Chevy.
As Willie Plett came for a player change with a face-off to the right of Casey, he and Ben Wilson had words. Nothing developed. Plett goes about his own business.
Face-off to the right of Casey. The draw to Jerome DuPont. A long shot. Tip. Oh, that just missed the crossbar. Rebound to the far side. Plett. DuPont stepped into him, but Plett was able to clear it to the Hog zone. Now, the North Stars try to shoot it in, but they're ruled to be offside on the play.
When you take a run at Willie Plett, you better be ready because you're going to get an elbow sandwich. DuPont saw the opportunity as the puck came around the boards, took a run at Plett, but Plett just at the last second got his gloves up and elbows.
Now the draw taken by Dennis Marouk. To Bob Rouse. He feeds McKegney. Tony McKegney over the Hawk line. Trying to center. Bob Murray blocked that. Now Marouk dug it out. Shot into the corner. Plett. Willie Plett tied up by DuPont again. He kicks it free to Marouk, and his shot knocked away to Troy Murray. Murray into the North Star zone, trying to walk into Presley. A shot. Pacey the save, and he had trouble with that. Rebound to the North Stars, McKegney. He shot it ahead to Plett, but he couldn't hold the pass. Now McKegney at center ice. Gave it to Langevin, who pushed it into the Chicago zone. Here's Troy Murray moving back. Lost it to Bukestad. Now here's Roberts for the North Stars. Oh, Presley is down at center ice. He might have been speared. The play is going on. The North Stars move in. Now the whistle is sounded.
Well, Bukestad right in front of us speared Presley right in the stomach. And that's an awful thing. Van Helmond couldn't see it. He was looking at the play in the North Star zone. Definitely, he speared him right in the guts. That's an automatic game ejection and a 5-minute penalty.
think, as you said, referee Van Hellemond saw it as Presley is still gasping for air at center ice. Presley's been a very aggressive player in this weekend series, but he just...
One of the worst spears I've ever seen. By a guy that's got 24 minutes in penalties and 78 games played. That was a flagrant spear. I haven't seen any worse. That was pathetic. It wasn't accidental by any means. Totally intended. Presley went in forechecking, slashed Bukestad a bit in the deep slot. As the play continued on, Bukestad chased him and speared him right in the stomach. It's a game misconduct, a 5-minute penalty. Could change his whole game around. But Van Hellemond obviously didn't see it. He was at the Hawk bench. It happened right in front of the penalty box in the neutral zone. And he was looking to his left where the play was. What about the linesmen?
If either of them saw it, they could call it, but apparently neither D'Amico nor Collins had a look at that. Well, it has been a hard-hitting weekend series between these two arch rivals, and the chippiness is increasing as this second period has gone along.
There's no call for that.
That's just the kind of garbage that this game hardly needs. And I'd say the same thing if a Blackhawk player did it to somebody else.
It's uncalled for. It's totally uncalled for. Especially by a guy that's got 24 minutes in penalties, got a mask on.
Wearing that shield. Well, nobody saw it except for Bukestad, Presley, and the two of us up here, and none of those people count. None of the officials saw the infraction. The play goes on with both teams at full strength. Here's that old chip. Clearing it out to center ice. Troy Murray. Over the line to Frazier. Back to Murray. The drive. Blocked at the defense. Hawks trying to hold it in. Here's Olczyk a shot. That didn't get through. Taken by Marut. Dennis Marut. Clearing one in. DuPont getting back. DuPont left it in behind the net. Here's a shot. Bannerman is trickling. They score! Bannerman got a piece of the shot from Marut, but it dribbled over him and trickled into the goal. It's 6-3, Minnesota.
Well, goaltender's nightmare tonight. Both goaltenders have been suspect. Marut fanned on the shot. It was on its edge. You can see it in slow motion. The puck's just wavering. You can read the label on it. Bannerman just blew it.
Oh, DuPont gave it away, too, behind the net.
I mean, that thing was going about 4 miles an hour.
Here's the draw. Taken by Larmer over the line. Steve Larmer's pass intercepted. Cleared to center. Taken by Secord. Flipping it into the North Star zone. Gord Roberts. Roberts cleared to the neutral area, and Doug Wilson throws it ahead to Savard. A bouncing puck rolled over his stick. Taken by Roberts to Marut. Dennis Marut with 2 goals in the game to Bellows, who flips it in. Now O'Callahan ahead to Larmer. He got it to Savard, who feeds Doug Wilson. Wilson moving over the line is knocked down. And he fell on top of the puck.
right in front of Van Helleman, too. Wilson tripped up. Must have lost the P in his whistle.
Assist number 15, Ken Nilsson, and number 23, Brian Bellows. Time of the goal, 16:29. Minnesota goal, Maruk from Nilsson and Bellows at 16:29.
Here's the draw. Cleared into the North Star zone. Dave Langevin ahead for Keith Axton. Axton moving over the line. Trying to center one. Langevin stick tied up nicely by Yaremchuk. Now taken by Darryl Sutter. Sutter ahead for Olczyk. Here's Olczyk over the line to Yaremchuk. Fires! Hit the goal post! Right through the legs of Casey, and then it hit the post. Now at the near point, Keith Brown. His drive! And a save. Rebound, Yaremchuk! He scores! Ken Yaremchuk picked up the rebound and fired it in. And the Hawks now trail 6-4.
Ken Yaremchuk on a give and go. Shot one through the legs of Casey and hit the post. The puck came back to the left point. Wilson to Brown. His shot right on target. Yaremchuk pounced on the rebound and put it into the short side for his third goal in his last 3 games.
It's his 14th of the year. And the Hawks now trail at 6-4. Here's the draw. Taken by O'Callahan. Shooting it in. Gord Roberts. Got it ahead nicely to Broughton. Neil Broughton races over the line. Left it for Cicerelli. Cicerelli, the shot blocked by O'Callahan out in front. And he clears it to center ice. Taken by Bob Rouse on the far side. Flipping it in, O'Callahan. Looks to move the Hawks back. Clearing it out to the neutral area. Now Bugstad moves back into Broughton. He cuts from the net. Broughton knocked away by Doug Wilson with a diving poke check. North Stars hold it in. Then Ron Wilson lost it. Now the North Stars bring it back in offside.
Scored by number 15, Ken Yaremchuk. Assist number 4, Keith Brown. And number 23, Ben Wilson. Time of the goal,
Doug Wilson, what a great
17:53.
defensive play he makes on Broughton. Broughton had a step on him. Broughton, who excels at protecting the puck with his body. And Wilson with a tremendous defensive play to dive and poke the puck away from Broughton.
Face off to the right of John Casey. A minute and a half to go in the second period. And the draw to Bellows. His pass stolen by Bob Murray. To Troy Murray shooting it in. Back of the goal, Presley centered one, knocked around in front, and Bellows came up with it. Bellows ahead for Nielsen. He couldn't flag down the bouncing puck, and Bannerman comes out to freeze it.
Well, a different Murray Bannerman tonight than last night. Both goaltenders have had difficult times.
Face off to the right of Bannerman. 62 seconds left in the second period. Here's the draw, taken by Bob Murray back of the net. Murray a long lead for Presley. He was offside at center.
Close call. It looked to me like his one skate was right on the line. Amazes me they could see that, but they couldn't see the spear.
Well, a bad break for the Hawks, who really should have had a 5-minute power play. When Bugstad blatantly speared Troy Murray Presley right in the gut. And none of the officials happened to see it. Here's Bob Murray deep in his own end. Ahead for Presley. Now to Troy Murray, who shoots it in. Half a minute to go in the period as Roberts. Cleared it ahead for Marouk. Dennis Marouk over the Hawk line, feeding Bellows the shot. Bannerman the save, rebound. Bellows centered it. They score! Nielsen, his second of the game as Bellows picked up his own rebound and put it on the stick of Magic Nielsen. 7-4 North Stars.
Well, you get into a skating contest with this Minnesota team, you're really going to pay. Marouk to Bellows. Bellows the low shot. Bannerman makes the save. He picks up his own rebound. No one's in front of the net. Nielsen's the only guy there. He picks it up and puts it past Bannerman.
So back to a 3-goal lead for Minnesota. Here's Dennis Savard moving over the line. Savard, a backhander, shot it wide. Now McKegney couldn't get it out. O'Callahan trying to center. Langevin stealing. 5 seconds left as McKegney comes to the Hawk line. His shot is blocked by O'Callahan, and that does it for the second period. Well, the North Stars outscoring the Hawks 3-1 in the second period. They opened the scoring when Ken Nielsen struck on a breakaway from Dennis Marouk at 10:47 to give the North Stars a 2-goal lead. Then Marouk got his second of the game from Nielsen and Bellows at 16:29. The Hawks got their only second period goal. Ken Yaremchuk's 14th on a rebound from Brown and Ben Wilson at 17:53. And then Nielsen with his second from Bellows and Marouk at 19:36 to finish the second period scoring. The Blackhawks had 11 shots in that second period. The North Stars had 13. And the two-period total is 27 shots for Chicago and 22 for Minnesota. But the numbers that count are the North Stars 7 and the Blackhawks 4. We'll have news, weather, and sports coming up on the radio side in this second intermission. And we'll have a feature on the Hawk Star center, Dennis Savard, on Sports Vision during this intermission. At the end of 2 in the stadium, Minnesota 7, Chicago 4.
A Chicago Bulls game is more than great basketball. It's also great entertainment. Saturday, April 5th, the stadium will be rocking to the soulful sounds of Chaka Khan. In concert free following the Bulls Atlanta Hawks game. Presented by Bud Light. Charge $50 worth of tickets to any or all remaining home games and get a $50 United Airlines gift certificate absolutely free. A portion of the proceeds will go to the United Cerebral Palsy Fund. So charge tickets now by calling 853-3636.
The thrills and spills of professional skiing come to Sports Vision this winter with exclusive coverage of the Peugeot Grand Prix. Top skiers from around the world hit the slopes across America, competing for points and prizes, and a shot at the World Championship. For the best in pro skiing, tune into Sports Vision, Chicago's winners on cable.
Coming 1-on-3. Neil Roberts, Symington seeking up the near side. Unitson doesn't see him. Scores! The Sting has tied it!
The buzzword this season is Sting, the Chicago Sting, that is. Tune into Sports Vision and catch the Sting as they wing their way through the MISL's best teams. Coach Willie Roy has his squad ready for another crack at the indoor soccer title. Will the Sting assert their dominance in the new MISL? Watch Sports Vision throughout the season for the answer.
It's 7-4 in favor of the North Stars after 40 minutes here in Chicago Stadium, and what a difference a day makes. The Blackhawks played a tremendous defensive game all throughout the contest last night, and Murray Bannerman was sharp in that game in Minnesota, and today both of those areas are leaving something to be desired.
Well, they're really taking far too many chances. They're not clutching, grabbing, slowing the North Stars down. They're trying to match them in their speed and the offensive skills, and they're really getting burned. And don't forget, the North Stars hit 2 goalposts as well, and they could have 9 goals in the first 2 periods of this hockey game. But not the same style that they played last night. It's just an entirely different group out there trying to play an offensive type game, and they're really going to suffer because the North Stars can really skate, and they've really had great scoring chances on the counters. Whenever the Hawks have had a chance, they've come right back with tremendous speed and created good scoring opportunities. That combined with some weak goaltending on Bannerman's part and the fact that the Hawks are backing in far too much, giving the North Stars the blue line, they're asking for a long night.
Sometimes I guess it's easier to play on the road, isn't it? You come home, you got a sold-out, excited, electric type of atmosphere, and you maybe try to do too much.
Well, certainly that's the case, and that's probably what was the fear of Pulford, Nielsen, and Coral coming into this game. The national anthem, you're standing there, you probably get so pumped up, your emotional level just is higher than it should be, and you go out there and spend all that emotion by losing your concentration and trying to do too much, and I think that's what happened.
So the Hawks are in trouble here tonight at the end of 40 minutes. They trail by a hat trick. It's Minnesota 7 and Chicago 4. Dennis Savard has been the Hawks' leading scorer for the past 4 years. This season is no different. He's set a new career high in goals, and he's the middleman, the trigger man of the Savard, Secord, and Larmer line. We'll meet Dennis Savard off the ice right after these messages.
We got what it takes. True value. We got what it takes.
Take on any spring cleaning chore with versatile 45-gallon True Value trash and yard bags. In April, get a box of 35 bags for just $4.99. Look for the Bargain of the Month banner at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
We got what it takes. True Value.
If you just ask for a light beer,
you like
you never know what you'll get.
Dogs. No, actually, Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, ask for Bud Light.
Yours? No.
Because everything else
Give me a light. Showtime.
is just a light.
If you could design the ideal small truck, what would you put in it? The biggest standard bed payload? The greatest standard towing capacity? Would you give it the best gas mileage of any truck sold in America? How about the lowest scheduled maintenance? And the highest mechanical reliability? If you could do all that, you'd design Toyota's lowest priced truck. And right now, you could save big bucks on the #1 small trucks. With incentives to Toyota dealers on selected trucks, you can make your best deal now.
This story probably made me a hockey player today, what I am today, because, you know, it was tough for myself at the time. What really happened is, you know, before warm-up, well, not before warm-up, going on the warm-up, I used to be the guy who used to go behind the goaltenders, and, you know, as soon as we got on the ice, 2 or 3 guys from Sherbrooke came up to me, and they said, Savard, tonight you're not going to touch the puck because we're going after you. So the way I am, I just told them, I said, listen, you guys won't get after me. I'm going to get some goals, and I'm going to play well tonight. So one guy drops his glove and started to hit me, the other guy with the stick. Finally, I was unconscious. You know, they opened me up for a couple stitches, was right at the bone, and you know, I was out like a light. And obviously, I woke up in the Beavers' room, and there was 1 period gone, and my stitches were all done. And the doctor said, "You should be playing." I said, "Yes, I want to go out there and play because this was an important game." And then at the time, it was my last year junior, and I was, you know, going for the draft, and I wanted to prove that I could play and all that kind of stuff. So it was really a big series for myself and for our team, but mainly at the time for myself, because this was the time where I could show I could play hockey, and then I want to be drafted high in the draft. So, you know, I came back for the second period, and I was still really hurting, really, because, you know, I really got hit pretty bad. And, you know, we were losing 3-0. I came back in the second period, and I scored 3 goals. The game was 3-3. And they came in the third period, and they finally beat us 5-3. So we lost that game, and we lost the next game in Montreal. But, you know, that thing I always remember because, you know, it just got me some character. It got me going, and I know that the scouts were probably thinking he's a little guy, you know, he could be afraid or you know, he's probably delicate or whatever. But I think it helped me a lot. It proved one thing that I was able to take a punch, put it that way, and come out and still play.
How did you meet him in Montreal?
In Montreal, in a bar, at Thursday.
Yeah. Pat knows that place pretty good.
You know that place?
But, a little too well.
I was out there with a friend of mine. It was on a Friday night, and we got there kind of late, probably 11:30, 12 o'clock, and I was just in there in the bar, and I was just having a beer and, you know, talking with my friend, and, you know, I got up and I went to Simona, and I said, would you like to dance? She said, sure, I'll go dance with you. So we danced and all that kind of stuff, and after the night was over, you know, I went home, she went home, and I gave her my number. I said, if you want to call me, call me. And she gave me her number, but she never called me back. It took like a week later, I had to call her back and, you know, try to get her out for dinner sometime, and she said, sure. So we went out for dinner at the racetrack in Blue Bonnets in Montreal. You know, it was an easy place for me because, you know, I love races. I was watching races, and so I was able to talk to her at the same time. And it was like, you know, if I don't know what to say, at least we'll have something to do. We'll watch the race. So that's how we met. And, you know, from then, we just kept seeing each other. And obviously, when the hockey season started, you know, I asked her to move in with me in Chicago, and she says, well, let me think about it. You know, I got a lot of things ahead of me, and I've got to think about it. So I let her thought about it, and here she is.
Was that a wedding bell I hear in the distance?
Well, I think we're going to get married pretty soon, obviously. You know, we got engaged last year. It's probably going to be a long engagement, but this is going to be a big move for ourselves. I think we're ready for it, and, you know, it's just a matter of time sending a date now, and you know, she's going to be the one to decide. I'm ready for it, and I think she is ready, too.
I wonder, does he take the game home with him?
Well, like the first year I came here, used to bring the game at home with him. And he was pretty upset about it, you know, and always talking about the game and all that stuff. But now he's pretty good now.
Well, that's the thing. She asked me all the time. My first year when I came down here, you know, I was really upset about the game, and I said to her, I made a rule one night, and I said, listen, I said, I'll leave the game at the ring from now on, and you know, she was quite happy, and obviously she's not the one to be blamed. I mean, she's doing everything she can to help me out, and you know, it's a sad way to do it. When I come home, when I came home before to, you know, bring the game here, and you know, she was, you know, getting everything on her. So, but she handled everything pretty good, and you know, I'm just glad to have her with me.
Your enthusiasm for the game, you're just a live wire. I mean, on the ice, off the ice, in the airports, in the hotels. Where did that come from?
Well, I don't know, Pat. My dad used to be kind of a little clown, you know. He used to loved having fun, and you know, I got that from probably my father. And I think most of our family at home is alive. They're really alive. You know, they like to have a good time, and when it's time to come down to work, they work. And you know, I think it comes down from your father, mother, and brothers. I think we're a family, and that's the way they are, and that's the way I am. And I've been like this since I'm a kid, and I'm not going to change it. I mean, this is the way I am, and I enjoy being happy. I mean, life is not easy. There's certain times where you have difficulties, and other times you're happy, and I'm just trying to keep it happy as much as I can, because, you know, life is short, and I just want to enjoy everything I can and see everything I can and be happy with it.
Shop for carpeting? Harry, I don't have time to shop for carpeting.
Oh, yes, you do. If you have time to pick up your phone, you have time to shop for carpeting. But before you do, remember, at prices from $6.95 a yard, nobody else but Empire includes padding. Nobody else includes installation. Nobody else includes 72-hour delivery and a free gift. Nobody else. And you get 60 days to make your first payment.
588-2300 Empire.
Look at me, Harry. I'm shopping for carpeting.
There's only one name for Stanley Cup play. That's excitement. Sports Vision chronicles the NHL champions of recent memory with a series of shows throughout this 85-86 season. Witness the Montreal Canadiens dynasty, the rugged, hard-fighting story of the Broad Street Bullies, the graceful speed and consistency of the New York Islanders, and the new legacy of Canadian supremacy, Wayne Gretzky and the Edmonton Oilers. Sports Vision spans 3 decades of Stanley Cup champions. Relive the excitement. Stanley Cup highlights only on Sports Vision.
Sometimes you know you're the one everybody's counting on to do the job. Whether you're a player or a fan. The one who can step in and turn things around so everybody wins. We lose too many lives when fans drive after drinking too much. So before you go to the game, choose the one guy you can count on to drive home. The designated driver. When you think about it, that's your most valuable player.
The Hawks were down by just 1 goal after 1 period tonight, but after 2 periods now, the North Stars find themselves up by 3. It's 7-4 in favor of Minnesota, as the North Stars have been able to capitalize on all sorts of chances that they've been given.
Well, they've been given a lot of opportunities. The Hawks taking far too many chances and getting involved in a skating match instead of playing their style of game, which is grinding it out, playing it close to the vest, taking the body, and then waiting for their opportunities. But I think their emotions ran too high, and they're playing a different game than they played entirely last night, and it's a tough team to play that way against, because Minnesota, one of the better skating clubs in the National Hockey League.
One thing you don't ever want to do is give Kent Nielsen a breakaway, but he had one, and he got the North Stars off and rolling in the second.
Well, as they did on the 5th North Star goal, the Hawk defense were nowhere to be seen. They were up with the forwards. All 5 players were inside the North Star blue line. Nielsen was in behind everyone. He got an outlet pass from Maruk, broke in one-on-one, and made it 5-3. And Dennis Maruk bends on a shot. Bannerman misplays it with the glove. He deflects off his glove hand. He went down prematurely, and the puck just trickles across the line. Didn't have enough steam to get to the back of the net. That made it 6-3. And then at 17:53, Keith Brown's shot hits Casey. The low shot, he makes the save. Yaremchuk moves in, picks up the rebound. A quick shot to the short side. Casey got a piece of it, but it deflected in. That made it 6-4. That was Yaremchuk's 14th goal. And then in the last seconds of the period, Hawks back in. Dennis Maruk with a nice pass across to Bellows. Bellows shoots. Bannerman kicks the rebound away. DuPont can't get at it. The front of the net is left all alone for Nielsen. Bang at 7-4, and the Hawks are in big trouble.
So the North Stars lead by that score, 7-4. Back to the third after this.
When you've been in a neighborhood as long as I have, customers become more than faces. They become friends. It's great to know that you've given families a familiar place to go for reliable hardware and sound advice for a lot of years. There's a comfortable hometown feeling that can't be bought or imitated. You just know when you fit in somewhere, when you really belong, no matter what changes go on around you.
We've got what it takes, true value.
Stop car thieves the safe and easy way with Triangle Auto Alarms. Hello, police. Someone's trying to steal my car right now. It's that safe and easy to protect your car and valuables from thieves with Triangle's best paid system. Only $149 installed while you wait. And it protects your car even up to a mile away. For free brochures, call 585-2567. Chicagoland's largest retail auto alarm dealer, Triangle.
By the way, Bobby, please tell the folks what you did about your baldness.
Oh, I've tried everything, Paul. I tried transplants, implants, weaves, and even hair pieces from other companies.
What happened?
Well, I wasted a lot of time and money by not going to Hairline Creations first. You could have fitted me with what I now know is the most natural-looking and secure hair replacement made. And for that, I thank you.
Well, we thank you.
I thank you.
Bobby, we thank you.
No, I thank you,
we
Paul.
thank you.
We'll be right back with more Blackhawk hockey action on Sports Vision in just a few moments. Looking for that perfect ace? Tune to Sports Vision to catch the pace. It's the best of the women and the top men pros. Keep your eye on the ball. Watch where it goes. If you like racket sports and tennis is your game, to miss all the action would be a shame. Top spin, side spin, they've got the shots. They sure please the crowd from elders to tots. So if tennis is your thing, be sure and watch Sports Vision and get into the swing. There's only one name for Stanley Cup play. That's excitement. Sports Vision chronicles the NHL champions of recent memory with a series of shows throughout this 85-86 season. Witness the Montreal Canadiens dynasty, the rugged, hard-fighting story of the Broad Street Bullies, the graceful speed and consistency of the New York Islanders, and the new legacy of Canadian supremacy, Wayne Gretzky and the Edmonton Oilers. Sports Vision spans 3 decades of Stanley Cup champions. Relive the excitement. Stanley Cup highlights only on Sports Vision.
The Blackhawks are in big trouble here. They trail the North Stars 7-4 as we get set to start the third period. The Hawks have outshot Minnesota 27-22, but the North Stars in the driver's seat, and all the numbers are indicating the Hawks are in dire straits here. Not only do they trail by 3, but as you know, the Hawks have not been a good team coming from behind in the third, and the North Stars have been excellent at protecting leads so far this year.
The North Stars have only lost twice all year. They're 29-2-3 when they've had the lead. The Hawks have had difficulty all year coming from behind, even when they've been trailing by the lone goal. But here they find themselves trailing by a field goal. Hopefully John Casey can play in the third period like he did in the first period. Second period, he was quite sharp. Tune in to Sports Vision Friday night at 7:30 and catch the final regular season Sting soccer game. The Baltimore Blast bring their explosive team into Chicago Stadium to challenge the recharged Chicago Sting. That's 7:30 Friday night. The Sting close out their season on Sports Vision.
The Troy Murray line will open up for the Hawks against the Dennis Marouk line for the North Stars, and here's the draw. Taken by Keith Brown in his own end. Gave it to Kurt Frazier on left wing. Frazier shooting it in. He got too much of it, and it winds up in the crowd.
Looks like one of your wedge shots.
I can't hit him that hard.
Well, you hit him that low, that's for sure.
How come they never bite? I hit those low streamers.
Kurt Frazier just trying to flip it in to get Troy Murray to a loose puck, and he got too much of it.
Here's Keith Brown now feeding Ben Wilson. His feed for Presley over the line, left it for Frazier. Frazier into the far corner. Now center one, it's deflected through to the near side. Ben Wilson pinches to hold it in. Wilson into the corner, kicked it loose in front, but Roberts there to steal that and whacks it out to center ice. Here's Keith Brown shooting it back in. Taken by Bellows. Lost it to Troy Murray. Murray far side centered, and Frazier the shot. He scores! Kurt Frazier after Troy Murray stole the puck at the North Star end, and the Hawks now trail 7-5.
Kurt Frazier ties his career high as far as goals are concerned. Troy Murray drops it to Frazier. Frazier to the left of Casey. He turns and fires again through the legs of Casey. Casey better sew some webbing through those pads.
That is Kurt Frazier's career high. It ties his mark for goals and points. 28 goals and 67 points. Here's Bob Rouse trying to shoot, blocked by O'Callahan. Away to Larmer, 3-on-2. To Savard over the line, fires. Casey got a piece of that and deflects it into the crowd. Well, that's just the kind of start the Hawks were hoping for in this third period.
Right after Frazier makes it 7-5, Dennis Savard let a shot rip from the circle to the left of Casey. The puck was on edge. Casey went down and just got a piece of it with his right shoulder.
Face off to the left of Casey. It's kicked to Doug Wilson. His drive. Casey got a piece. Rebound to Cicerelli on right wing. Dino Cicerelli shooting it in. Larmer gets back. Took a bump behind the net. Puck is stolen by Cicerelli. Cicerelli then tied up by O'Callahan. They wrestle to the corner. A couple of players gang up there. Now it squirts free along the boards. Bouncing free to Cicerelli. Centered one. Stolen by Secord in front to O'Callahan. Jack O'Callahan to Steve Larmer over the line. His shot blocked at the defense and corralled by Cicerelli. Now Langevin flipped it to the Hawk line. Bob Murray is there ahead to Savard. Savard over the line shooting. Casey the save as the North Stars were caught in a player change. Now Minnesota starting back. Matt Helene in over the Hawk line. 3-on-3. A long backhander sent wide. Now, the Hawks got away with one as Secord tackled a man. Here's Olczek over the line. Does Secord a shot? Blocked at the defense and deflects into the crowd. We're early in the third period. It's 7-5 Minnesota. Back after this on Sports Vision and WBBM.
you are to Schaumburg Toyota's spectacular truck sale. The Midwest's largest volume Toyota dealer is out to sell 100 trucks, no matter what. Four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, 40 stripes, aggressive styling. From just $49.95, you may never buy a new Toyota truck for less. From only $49.95. Immediate delivery for Chicagoland's largest selection of new Toyota trucks and spectacular savings. See Schaumburg Toyota, 875 Gulf Road in Schaumburg. Schaumburg Toyota.
Get a look at the back of John Casey. It's been a tough end tonight. There have been 7 goals scored on this particular end of the ice. Goaltender who plays there the longest is going to get sunburned on the back of his neck from that light going on.
Here's Ben Wilson's shot blocked at the defense. Going to the far corner, Sutter trying to jam it free. He did, but right to Acton. Heath Acton with a goal and an assist in the game. Now gains the Hawk line. Trying to walk in. Ben Wilson stopped him. They bang into the boards. Ron Wilson couldn't hold it in for Minnesota. Now Dirk Graham comes into the Hawk zone. Left it for Acton. Centered one. Right through the slot as Graham just failed to pick it up. Now Graham's shot blocked by Ben Wilson to Yaremchuk. And Yaremchuk on right wing over the line. Moving in, shoot, Casey, rebound, Olczyk, Casey, big save! And he holds on.
A burst of speed by Yaremchuk. A shot right on. Olczyk turns and fires a forehand on the rebound, but he's in too close. Casey gets the body in front of it, juggles it momentarily, and then covers up.
Well, the Hawks have gotten off to a flying start in this third period, and they're going to need a flying period. They still trail 7-5. Face off to the left of Casey. There's the draw. Cleared in behind the net, Presley. Wayne Presley rubbed off by Rouse. Now Troy Murray, and after it got at least to Frazier. Frazier rolled it back of the net, but Marouk steals it there. They cleared it to the center ice area. Doug Wilson trying to flip it back in. Couldn't do it as Bellows intercepts. Got it to Marouk over the line. Feeding to Kent Nielsen. He's bumped along the boards, and it's taken away by Frazier. Frazier feeding Presley over the line, moving in the shot. Casey, the save as Presley had a glorious chance, but Casey beat it.
There's Frazier with a quick pass to Presley. Right through the defenseman Rouse's stick. Presley with a nice move around the veteran Landsman. Take to his left, went to his forehand, let it go. And Casey just got the body in front of it. Hawks have already had 7 shots on goal. Played less than 4 minutes.
Face-off will be to the right of Casey as Lauren Henning looks anxiously on behind the North Star bench. Boy, has he ever done a wonderful job with this team.
Class act. He's learned his trade with the New York Islanders, a classy organization. He's brought some stability to this North Star organization.
Now they're ready. Here's the draw. Taken by Ron Wilson. Lost it to Larmer. A blast! Casey, another great save. Rebound taken by Cicerelli. Dino Cicerelli over the Hawk line. Bumped by Ben Wilson, but Bukestad carries on, centering, stolen by Larmer. Now the Hawks move back 3-on-3. Larmer over the line. Left it for Savard around a check. Now he's centered it. Ben Wilson! Casey again! Rebound to Bukestad. Scott Bukestad into the Hawk zone. Lost it to Larmer. And he cleared it down to the North Star zone. John Casey had some shaky moments in the early part of this game, but he has been magnificent here in the early part of the third period.
2 great saves, one on Steve Larmer, one on Ben Wilson on a feed from Dennis Savard.
Faceoff will be outside the North Star line. Now Olczyk, Sutter, and Yaremchuk on. Here's the draw taken by Bob Rouse. Along the boards to Brian Lawton. And Lawton shoots it in. Yaremchuk back of the net. Ran into Plett, but fought off the check nicely. Trying to clear to Sutter, who's knocked down. McKegney held it in, then he fell down. And here's Doug Wilson moving back to Darryl Sutter. The Hawk captain to the line, shooting. Casey, the stick save. Rebound, Olczyk centered it. Deflected to Tony McKegney. And back comes Minnesota. Lawton into the Hawk zone. Lost it to Bob Murray. Murray gave it to Ed Olczyk. Olczyk into the North Star zone. A drop pass went right to McKegney. Back come the North Stars. McKegney's long shot missed the target. Now a Hawk player is shaken up. Olczyk is down deep in the North Star zone. It looks as if he may have gotten a high stick or an elbow.
And Olczyk made a drop pass at the blue line, and he watched the pass, and Langevin just lowered the boom. He leveled him, and Olczyk is hurt. The third time in the game that Olczyk has tried that play, and it's not worked once. Twice it resulted in breakaways for the North Stars.
Well, Skip Thayer is on to have a look at Olczyk, and we'll update you in just a moment.
Olczyk crosses the line. He's being harassed by Plett. He watches the drop pass, and Langevin just steps right into him and levels him with a clean, hard check. One of the first things you learn, don't watch the pass.
He may have hit his back of his head on the ice when he went down hard. We've played 5 minutes of the third period. It's 7-5 Minnesota. Back after this on Sports Vision and WBBM.
While other full-size automobiles are shrinking, there remains an uncompromised American classic. Today's Chevrolet Caprice Classic Brome. Uncompromised V8 performance. Uncompromised smooth and quiet ride. Uncompromised room and luxury. Caprice Classic. Not the most expensive luxury car, but the most preferred. Accept no substitute. Drive today Chevy, live today Chevy. Caprice Classic.
Skip Thayer out there to administer to Ed Olczyk, the hardest he's been hit in his short career. Langevin just leveled him.
Thayer has gathered some ice shavings to put on the back of Olczyk's neck. I really think he banged the back of his head on the ice when he went down hard. And the bells are ringing inside Olczyk's helmet.
He was down low, too, after he made the pass, watching the pass, and Langevin is a big boy. He saw the opportunity and just ran right over him.
Well, if the Hawks are unable to come from behind in this game, this weekend series is going to be something else. The Hawks playing the St. Louis Blues in a home-and-home series Saturday night in St. Louis, Sunday afternoon back here in the stadium. And the Blues, unless the Hawks are able to come from behind tonight, the Blues would be in a position to actually win the Norris Division by beating the Hawks twice, which is what they'd have to do. They would have to win both games. Saturday night will be on the air at 7:20 on the radio and 7:30 on television from St. Louis. And then Sunday, remember, is a matinee game. 1:20 the radio pregame and 1:30 on television.
Hawks still with plenty of time, though, to tie this game up. 14:57 remaining. They've had great chances in the early going.
Only now is Ed Olczyk beginning to rise, and he is getting some assistance from some teammates.
We had 4 penalties in that first period, 2 to each club. Not one penalty called in the second period, and I thought the second period, of the 5 periods that these two teams have played in the last day and a half, was the chippiest.
Well, Olczyk will remain on the Hog bench, it appears, although now it looks like Thayer wants him to go down to the dressing room. Let's see. Yeah, Olczyk wanted to stay on the bench, but Skip Thayer, the Hog trainer, is instructing him to go downstairs to the locker room.
Well, certainly the next time he makes a pass, he won't be admiring it.
So Ed Olczyk now hobbling down toward the Hog dressing room. And we'll have a face-off inside the Chicago line. There's the draw. Taken by Ludwig. Has room over the line. Takes the shot. Now the drive. And he shot it just wide with Casey 30 feet out of the net. Now, puck cleared back to center ice. Yaremchuk made a couple of extra stick-handling moves, and the Hawks were offside.
Well, he wanted to clean it off before he gave it to Ludwig. Yaremchuk, who has scored 3 goals in his last 3 games, including the game winner last night.
With Olczyk having had his bell rung, Steve Ludwig takes his spot at center ice here between Yaremchuk and Sutter. Here's the draw. Taken by Gord Roberts. Roberts sends it away to Acton. Graham is busting on right wing. Here's the shot, and a save by Bannerman. Rebound taken by the Hawks, Yaremchuk. He hits the line, Yaremchuk. Now knocked down in the corner. Rolled it to the near side. Ludwig digging after it. Got it in behind to Yaremchuk. He centered one. Casey blocked that. And now it's taken by the North Stars, Acton. Heath Acton shoots it in. Bannerman put it to the far side. Mats Helene to the line. Langevin shot deflects into the corner. Now Sutter. Darryl Sutter bounced one to Yaremchuk. He rolled it to the Hog line. Now taken by Rouse into the Chicago zone. Bob Rouse. Shot it to the far corner. O'Callahan is there. Put it to the near side. Secord deflects it to the neutral area. Now Bellows shoots it back in. Jack O'Callahan brings it around the boards to Secord. Now Secord ahead for Savard over the line. Dennis Savard turning to the far side, centered it. Larmer moves right in, fires! Shot it wide! Rebound, O'Callahan at the line. Centered one, Larmer again the shot. Again he missed the net. Rebound to the near corner. Now Larmer got it free. Put it to the line. O'Callahan held it in. Shot it in behind the net, Savard. Dennis Savard banging away, got it loose to the line. O'Callahan for Larmer on the board, centering. In front, Savard knocked down, and the play goes on. Here's Marouk. 2 goals and 2 assists. Marouk a long shot. That blocked at the defense. Taken by O'Callahan. Beating Doug Wilson. Wilson over the North Star line. He's knocked down. Presley carries on, centering. Secord couldn't flag it down, and back come the North Stars. Broughton over the Hawk line for Cicerelli. The shot! Look out as Bannerman ducked out of the way of that one. Now Broughton on the far side. Put it to the near corner. Cicerelli trying to center. Stolen by Troy Murray, who clears the center ice. North Stars move back in, but offside. 12 minutes to go in the third. 7-5 Minnesota. Back after this on Sports Vision and WBBM.
We've got what it takes true value. We've got what it takes.
Take on any spring cleaning chore with versatile 45-gallon True Value trash and yard bags. In April, get a box of 35 bags for just $4.99. Look for the Bargain of the Month banner at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
We've got what it takes, true value.
The Blackhawks missing a couple of glorious opportunities on the last shift. And the North Stars maintain a 2-goal lead. There's the draw to Dirk Graham. Graham over the Hawk line. Moving in, shooting. Bannerman the save. Rebound to Ron Wilson. His pass intercepted, then came to Acton. His shot hit the goal post. The third time the North Stars have hit the post tonight. And it's cleared to the Minnesota zone. Roberts now flips it back into the Hawk end. There's going to be an icing call against Minnesota. Let's take 10 for identification. This is Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
Your station for the best in all Chicago sports is right here, Sports Vision.
Keith Acton lets one rip to the short side, off the goalpost and out the other side. The third time the North Stars have hit the goalpost.
Draw to the left of Casey. Here it is. To Langevin. Clearing ahead to Plett. Willie Plett with a long shot. Bannerman gloving that. Cleared it to the left wing board. Sutter to Ludzik. Steve Ludzik carries over the line. Feeding Sutter. Turning in behind. Trying to center. Rouse picks it off nicely. Now Kane loose in front. Ben Wilson, a backhander. Casey the save. Rebound to the near side. Ben Wilson holding it in to Yaremchuk. Moving to the slot. Bumped off the puck, but Ludzik rolled it in front. Just by the far post. And a penalty coming off as Rouse knocked down Ludzik. And now the North Stars control, and the call will be made as some elbows get raised in the near corner. Little pushing and shoving going on there, but the Hawks don't want to be taking any penalties here as they'll be getting a power play. Just under 11 minutes to go in the third. 7-5 in favor of the North Stars. Back after this on Sport Vision and WBBM.
Give me a light. No. Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer,
Thanks.
you never know what you'll get.
Nah. Give me a light. No, Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
The first penalty call since the 1942 mark of the first period. Bob Rouse for holding at 9:12. He upended Ludzik. Ludzik took a dive to make it worse. But Van Helleman has been letting everything go.
Well, the Hawks needing to convert on this power play. Trailing by a pair. Face off to the right of Casey. Now some yo-yo toss something on the ice. Boy, I hope somebody in the stands has sense enough to point out the idiot to the security people so they can get him out of here. Here's the draw. Taken by Doug Wilson at the line. Rolled it to Savard on the boards. Savard shoots one. And a save by Casey through the screen. Rebound Roberts. Bumped by Secord. Larmer took it away. Got it to the line. Wilson. Doug Wilson centered it. Savard. Turning to the near side. Threw it in front. Secord. Couldn't pull the trigger. Now Secord. Bumped on the near side. He had it knocked away. Hawks trying to hold it in. They jam away, and finally it squirts free to center. Then the Hawks bring it back offside.
Hawks. Third power play. They're 1 for 2. Both clubs have had 2 power plays. Both teams have scored 1 power play goal. By rights, the Hawks should be tied in this game. The way they started this third period, the first half, that great scoring opportunity after great scoring opportunity, but nothing to show for it since Kurt Fraser made it 7-5.
In the early part of the period, Casey made 3 or 4 brilliant stops, and after that, the Hawks helped him out by missing the net on a couple of good close-in chances. Minute and a half for the Chicago power play. There's the draw. Taken by Langevin. Clearing to center. Bob Murray is there. Murray now shoots it in. Back of the goal. Gord Roberts got a rough ride from Savard. Larmer stealing. Larmer to the line for Bob Murray. To Doug Wilson for Savard. Savard hangs on the near side. Now Savard trying to center it. Gave it right to Acton, who clears it down all the way. 45 seconds for the Chicago power play as Doug Wilson shoots it in. In the near corner they battled. Troy Murray poked it loose. Frazier now gains control. Put it in behind the net. Bounced away from Murray. Ahead to Nielsen. Kent Nielsen over the Hawk line. Moving to the near side now. Centered one. And it went off the skate of Bellows well wide of the net. Taken by Frazier. Hurt Frazier to Keith Brown at center ice, and he throws it in deep. Comes to the near side, now taken by Ron Wilson, clearing out to center ice. Bill Watson is there to Ben Wilson. He had it poked away. Now the North Star penalty is over, and both teams are back at full strength. Here's Brown trying to move in. His pass knocked away and cleared into the Chicago zone. Here's Ben Wilson to Jack O'Callahan. Back to Wilson at center. Now to Yaremchuk over the line. Ken Yaremchuk moving to the near corner. Moves in behind the net against Rouse. They bang away to the far side. And now the puck squirts free to center ice. Taken by Neil. Broughton over the line. Fires and shot it wide. Rebound Broughton. And Ben Wilson able to tie him up at the last second. Now Sutter got it to Yaremchuk in his own end. For Ben Wilson. Wilson gave it right to Roberts. Gordy Roberts to the line. Takes the shot. Walks in between the defense. And then Bannerman able to poke check it away from Roberts. And we're going to have a penalty against the Blackhawks. 7.5 minutes to go in the third, and the Hawks are going to be a man short. 7-5 Minnesota. Back in a moment on Sports Vision and WBBM.
Darryl, it's 110 stories high.
World's tallest building. You ready?
Darryl, are you sure these will hold us?
No problem. They'll take us all the way to the top.
Darryl.
There'll be endorsements,
Darryl.
TV appearances, books. We'll make millions. You ready?
Are you sure these will hold?
Trust me. They'll stick like glue.
There's an easier way to reach new financial heights. Play Lotto.
Gord Roberts faked the slap shot, froze Jack O'Callahan on it, beat him cleanly. Ben Wilson had to turn and hook him just as Roberts was ready to make a move, and the second penalty of the period goes to Ben Wilson for hooking at 12:21.
Well, the North Stars with a chance to put a lid on this one. They have a power play and a 2-goal lead. Face off to the right of Bannerman. Here's the draw to Jack O'Callahan. And he clears it down all the way. Now Ken Nielsen starts it away to Dirk Graham. To Marouk. Dennis Marouk with 4 points in the game shoots it in. On the far side, Troy Murray couldn't get it out. Nielsen holding it in for Bellows. He moves in, centered it. Doug Wilson blocked it, and then Bellows shot one wide. Aimed to the near corner. Bellows has it there. To Maruk. Rolled it behind the net. Taken by Doug Wilson, who turns and finds the opening, clearing it down all the way. Now Nielsen to Bukestad over the line. Left it for Maruk. Back to Scott Bukestad. Turning behind the goal. Bukestad put it to the line. Ron Wilson at the near point. Center one, a shot! Hit the side of the net, and Cicerelli's drive winds up in the crowd.
High-flying Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls return to Sports Vision Monday, April 7th, when they take on the Milwaukee Bucks. Join Jim Durham and Johnny Kerr for all the action at 7 o'clock on Sports Vision.
Now the North Stars trying to move in, but Bob Murray broke up the rush, chopping it back to the Minnesota zone. 45 seconds left for the North Star power play. Got Bukestad. Flipping it over the line to Brutt. Now for Cicerelli. Turning along the near board to Bukestad. Bukestad to the line. Ron Wilson. Far point to Nielsen. Kent Nielsen put it back to Wilson. He put it to the near side. Bukestad to the corner. Turns in behind the net. Now got it to Cicerelli. Out to the line for Nielsen. And Nielsen to Cicerelli, far point. Dino Cicerelli holding on. Now walks along the board. Dropped it back to Nielsen. Centered one. That goes in behind the net. Centering pass, a shot. Bannerman, the save on Bukestad. And he holds on as the penalty expires. Both teams back at full strength. 5.5 to go. North Stars up by 2. Back after this on Sports Vision and WBBM.
This bud's for all that you do.
Carlos, I need 100 of these by Friday.
My friend, I'm retired. My son is running the business now.
You know just where you're going. It's true, your pride is showing, cause you make America work, and this bud's for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
Pat Foley and Dale Talon back in Chicago Stadium as time running out on the Blackhawks. 5.5 to go. They trail 7-5. Here's Ben Wilson. Now moving out of his own end to Brown. Heath Brown shooting it in. Here's Frazier digging after it, but Mats Helene took it away. Helene clearing it down to the Hawk zone. Taken by Brown. Heath Brown ahead to Troy Murray. Murray over the line to Presley. Moving in. Presley turning, shooting. Knocked down in front, and it's going to be a loose puck to the far corner as Casey was lying underneath Troy Murray. Had been knocked on top of him, and now a whistle sound.
Troy Murray got it to Presley. Presley made a move, went to his backhand. Meanwhile, Troy Murray had collided with the defenseman and was on top of Casey. Presley turned and shot it through a crowd. Troy Murray just passed it out front with a glove. Van Hellemond didn't see it. And finally, the whistle blew as Casey lost his glove and his stick.
Face-off will be to the left of Casey. Now here's the draw to Bob Murray. His shot is blocked at the defense. Goes in behind the net. Sutter digging it loose. Darryl Sutter centered one right through the slot to the near side, and Bellows moves to center ice. He gave it to Maruk, who shoots one in. Bob Murray back. Murray gave it to Steve Ludzik. Ludzik flipped it in, but Yaremchuk had stepped in ahead of the play.
The pass was right on the money, but the official ruled that Yaremchuk was across the line. Ludzik at center since the injury to Ed Olczyk, who was I think he might have been knocked cold for an instant by Dave Langevin. Olczyk has gone to the locker room and has not returned.
Now the draw. Controlled by Darryl Sutter. His pass picked off by McKegney. Now Brian Bellows to the Hawk line. A long shot. Bannerman the glove save. Cleared it to the left wing boards. Darryl Sutter lost the handle to Bellows. Rolled it to Maruk. Here's a centering pass. A shot. Bannerman rebound scramble. And Bellows now moving in front. Shoot. Bannerman the save trickling. And he covered it up inches before it crossed the goal line.
Sloppy play there by the Hawks. Dennis Maruk with 4 points, kept it in, turned and shot. Maruk scored 60 goals one year and 50 another year with Washington. He has got good sense for the net. Let a low little shot go, and Bannerman made the initial save. The puck trickled behind him and fortunately hit the post.
Dennis Maruk with his 4 points tonight now has 12 points in 7 games that he has appeared in against the Blackhawks. Four minutes left. 7-5 mini. Here's Bob Rouse. His long shot blocked to Savard. Dennis Savard moves over the line, lost the handle. Now the Hawks move back in offside.
Points have been far and few between for Savard and Troy Murray. They've been struggling offensively. That had been for the net minding of John Casey in the first period. This could have been a big rout for the North Stars. They let in 3 softies in that first period, and the Hawks were trailing 3-0.
The North Stars have also hit the goalpost 3 times in this game. So they could be in double figures. Here's the play into the Hawk zone. Here's Bob Rouse with a shot. Bannerman the save. Kicked it out to center ice. Dave Langevin. Bounce one right to O'Callaghan. Now Savard. Here's Savard moving over the line. Savard weaving to the near side. Now he's bumped along the boards, and everybody will pile up and the whistle sound. With just over 3 minutes left, we're told that Ed Olczyk has been taken to the hospital for precautionary x-rays as he was flattened with his head down by Dave Langevin, and looked as if the hit not only was a very hard one in itself, but it looked as if he may have banged his head on the ice as he fell backwards. So he has been taken to the hospital for observation.
With this break in the action, it gives us an opportunity to tell you that Kurt Fraser has been selected as the Anheuser-Busch Player of the Game. He scored his 28th of the year at the start of the third period. Hawks came up flying, have had great chances since that particular goal, but John Casey has shut the door after a mediocre first period, to say the least.
Face off to the right of Casey. Now everybody getting ready. There's the draw. Layered in behind the Minnesota goal. Roberts flips it ahead to Acton. Now McKegney shooting one over the Hawk line and rolls to the goal mouth. Brown is there and gave it to Frazier. Kurt Frazier coming into the North Star zone. Frazier to the far corner, trying to center one, deflected behind the net. Presley's pass bounced into the corner. Wayne Presley digs it free there. Presley threw it across to Brown, and he was unable to hold it in as McKegney gave it to Acton over the line. Keith Acton's pass hit a skate to Troy Murray. 2.5 minutes to go. Here's Graham with a steal, a long shot, and a save by Bannerman. Taken by Ben Wilson. Ahead for Presley. Presley over the line, trying to feed Troy Murray. Now Frazier's shot blocked at the defense and cleared to the hog line. Nielsen racing after it, but he'll be ruled offside as he touches the puck. For those of you in southern Illinois and the St. Louis area, that French guy that you see smiling from ear to ear is Jacques Demers, the Blues coach, because it looks like his team is still alive in the chase for the Norris Division title. We'll see Demers and the Blues Saturday night in St. Louis, 7:20 on the radio, 7:30 on television. As the Hawks with a chance to mathematically win the Norris Division tonight. And they have just 2 minutes remaining to try to reverse a 2-goal deficit. Here's the draw to Doug Wilson, a long shot. He shot it wide. And it caroms back to center ice. Bellows steps over the line, trying to walk in, and Doug Wilson bumped him off the puck. Murray cleared it to the Minnesota zone. Langevin back. Langevin trying to clear, did get it out to center. Now Marouk over the line, left it for Bellows. The shot hit the goal post again, the 4th time. Minnesota's hit the post. Here's Savard over the line. Savard dropped it in front. Murray a shot. Where'd it go? A scramble. And it wound up behind the net. Taken by Nielsen back to center ice. Kent Nielsen to Broughton, who trying to move in, lost it to Brown. And Brown flipped it down to the North Star zone. There to the near side, Cicerelli. Tied up by Ben Wilson. Puck squirts free. Here's Frazier, a shot. Shot wide. Now Sutter in behind. There's Bannerman out to the bench. 6 skaters on for the Hawks. As the puck is cleared to center, we're into the final minute of play. Troy Murray shooting it back in. To the far side, Sutter. Rolled it to the near board. Cicerelli is there. And he pushed it out to center ice. The Hawks move back in offside with 42 seconds to go.
Now Minnesota's right back into the picture for first place. They have Detroit on Saturday afternoon. They possibly will finish with 85 points. If St. Louis knocks off Chicago in 2 encounters on the weekend, St. Louis and Minnesota would be tied with the same number of points. Then they would have the same number of wins. Then it would go to
the season series,
and we're not quite sure who.
I think Minnesota has the edge there.
And possibly the Hawks could finish 3rd and would have to open the playoff series in St. Louis or Minnesota, depending on who finished 2nd. That's if the Hawks don't split on the weekend. If the Hawks split against the Blues, they win first place, and they play against Toronto here on home ice. So still some possibilities. The Hawks coming into the week with the intentions of splitting against Minnesota and splitting against the Blues to finish in first place. They won last night. Looked like they could finish it off tonight, but they got into a skating match with the North Stars. It's been all Minnesota.
This, by the way, will even up the season series between the Hawks and the North Stars. Each team will have 3 wins and 2 ties. And again, some crackpot threw something on the ice.
Someone threw a bottle. That's the 2nd time in this game some jerk has thrown a bottle onto the ice. If that ever hit someone, it could kill him. And it just missed hitting John Casey.
What could possibly go through somebody's mind that he could Is there anybody that stupid that doesn't realize what he's doing?
Obviously, there is. Well, the only way you can combat this is you see someone do it at a game. If you're at a game, just point them out to the guys in the orange jacket. Just leave your seat and go and tell them.
And those guys in the orange jackets, the off-duty police officers who help with the security here in the stadium, they'll be more than happy to escort anybody out of the rink who is foolish enough to throw something on the ice. And I've noticed in the last couple of years, several times the good fans, which are the great majority, doing that. Just you don't have to get into any sort of a scuffle yourself. If somebody near you throws something on the ice, just calmly go and tell the orange-jacketed crew about it, and they'll take care of the problem. You don't have to get involved yourself. Just that's what they're here for, the security guys, and they'll be happy to escort those jerks out of the building.
Well, it's too much fun to come to the stadium. It's a great building. It's a great show. This has been an exciting game, end-to-end action. And to have something like this happen, if that happens to hit a player, it could be fatal.
How do they get those bottles in here anyway? But really, the good fans that are in such a big majority, it's a shame that the few bad apples give the rest of them something of a black eye. So we don't need them anyway. Just get them out of here. If you see somebody throwing something on the ice, tell the security people about it. And let's be done with it. Now the debris, most of it has been cleared up, and we're going to finish the game. 42 seconds left. The North Stars with a 7-5 lead, about to win their 37th game of the year. And Bannerman remains on the Hawk bench with 6 attackers on for Chicago. Here's the draw. Bouncing around. Now cleared to the Hawk zone. Sliding toward the open net, but Doug Wilson got back in time to stop it. Wilson to Bob Murray at center ice. He shoots it in. Comes to the near side, taken by Larmer. To Troy Murray in the corner. Now Sutter. Centered one. Here's Samara, backhander. And a save by Casey. Nice stop there with 17 seconds left.
Casey's been sharp in this third period. He's made great saves. This was a tremendous save on Dennis Savard with a quick backhander to the glove side. Casey makes a good glove catch.
Face-off will be to the right of John Casey. Last year, the North Stars split here in the stadium against the Hawks in the regular season, winning 2 and losing 2. This year, they're going to win the regular season games in the stadium. This will be their second win against 1 loss and 1 tie. These teams take great delight in winning on the road against their arch rivals. Hawks have had a large amount of success in Minnesota, and the North Stars have had similar success here in Chicago. Here's Doug Wilson, a shot. He shot it wide from the draw. Bob Murray centered one. Came through to the near side. North Stars get to it. Marouk going to try for an empty netter, and he's hit the side of the net. Just missing his 5th point. Now he's centered one. Missing McKegney, and that does it. The North Stars foil the Blackhawks' hopes for cementing the North Division title, and the race is still wide open. In the third period, only 1 goal, that coming from Kurt Frazier, his 28th of the year, tying his career high. assisted by Troy Murray at the 46-second mark to get the Hawks off and rolling. But they could do no more damage as John Casey held them off. The Blackhawks had 13 shots in that third period. The North Stars had 10. And the game totals 40 Chicago shots and 32 Minnesota shots. Your final score, the North Stars 7, the Blackhawks 5, and we'll wrap it up after this.
Don't you just love it when you order new carpeting and then find out that padding is extra, installation is extra, and you have to wait weeks for delivery?
I feel I have to tell you there's only one company that includes padding, installation, and 72-hour delivery at every price from $6.95 a yard. Plus, you get a Bissell shampoo or a Zoom broom sweeper free. And I'll tell you what, I'll give you 60 days to make your first payment.
Why, Empire? I didn't know you cared.
588-2300 Empire.
There are an awful lot of Toyota truck owners these days. Have you ever met an unhappy one?
I haven't. Not me. Never.
Independent research ranks Toyota trucks #1 in customer satisfaction and #1 in mechanical reliability. Plus, Toyota trucks require less scheduled maintenance. No wonder Toyota truck owners are more likely to buy the same make again than are the owners of any other make.
No wonder to me.
With incentives to Toyota dealers on selected trucks, you can make your best deal now.
This game has been brought to you in part by Michelob, exceptionally smooth Michelob. Where you're going, it's Michelob. And by Toyota. Compare, it's Toyota, not the other guys. See your Chicagoland Toyota dealers. And by your neighborhood True Value Hardware store. And by Chevrolet and your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. And by the Illinois State Lottery. Winning lotto numbers are now drawn twice a week, on Wednesday and Saturday. So double your chances to win millions. Play Lotto. And by Mr. Submarine and RC Cola. You'll go out of your way to capture the taste of a Mr. Submarine and RC Cola. And by Empire. Carpeting from $6.95 a yard installed, including polyfoam padding and delivery in 72 hours. And by today's Chevrolet, who invites you to live the style, performance, and fun of Chevrolet in '86.
People celebrates people. This week, Andrew and Sarah and the wedding of the year.
First division title, but it's still wide open as the North Stars keep both their hopes and the hopes of the St. Louis Blues alive by beating the Blackhawks 7-5 tonight. And this team, if ever you can figure it out, let me know, will you?
Well, they don't like to make it easy on themselves, do they? They came into the week figuring to split with both Minnesota and St. Louis to win the North Division. They win a big game last night, played the best game probably of the year defensively anyway. Won in Minnesota, have a chance to come home in front of this great crowd and win and clinch first place. But no, they get into a game that is not their style, a skating game against the North Stars. And fortunately for Casey's play in the first period, the Hawks were able to stay in it. But they did not play a very good game, a smart game as far as they're concerned. The North Stars hit a lot of goal posts. They scored 7 goals. Could have scored a lot more goals, and it's just unfortunate. Now the Hawks are backs against the wall. They've got to win one game against St. Louis to finish first. If they happen to lose both those games, they'll finish in third place, and that's not a very good sign opening up on the road against either St. Louis or Minnesota.
Well, the North Stars with the victory are now just 1 point behind the Blackhawks. They have 1 game left. Minnesota will play the lowly Detroit Red Wings in their final game of the year. And, of course, the Hawks have that home-and-home series against the St. Louis Blues. The Hawks really, maybe it's an advantage to start that series on the road. Sometimes they play a lot better, as evidenced last night.
Well, they did play a great game last night. Hopefully that will happen on Saturday. The St. Louis Blues are hurting, and it will be difficult, but the Blues have a lot of character under Jacques Demers, and they'll be ready for it. It'll be a tough game.
We'll be on the air at 7:20 on the radio and 7:30 on television on Saturday night from St. Louis as the Hawks open up the home-and-home series against the Blues and the final weekend of the regular season with all sorts of possibilities still available. The Hawks can finish anywhere from first to third. That's the story from Chicago Stadium tonight. The Minnesota North Stars return the favor the Hawks handed them last night. Your final score in this game, Minnesota 7, Chicago 5.
Guests will receive a Duracell lighting kit with 5 dependable DuraBeam lights, compliments of True Value Hardware stores. DuraBeam, it really works when you need it.
Ray Harrod, the king of Nissans, has the all-new 1987 luxurious Maximus, and nobody sells Nissans for less than King Nissan, the home of king-size discounts. King Nissan's Maximus for '87 offer outstanding luxury in sedans, station wagons, and sports sedans. King Nissan is also your home of king-size discounts on the all-new, all-exciting 1987 Sentras. 5 new and affordable models. Sentras for '87 cost less at King Nissan, and prices start as low as $62.09. The Midwest's largest Nissan dealer, Ray Harrod's King Nissan, 6200 West 2E in Niles.
Follow the Chicago White Sox on Sports Vision all season long. It's the quest for the West. From the opening pitch to the game-winning home run, Sports Vision is where you can capture all the line drives, the spectacular catches, and acrobatic double plays of the White Sox. It's the Sox in '86, the quest for the West on Sports Vision, Chicago's winners on cable. The National Hockey League's Norris Division champion, Chicago Blackhawks, appear this season only on Sports Vision. Join Pat Foley and Dale Talon for 50 live regular season contests. Don't miss the Hawks as they weave their way through the competition and into the '85-'86 Stanley Cup playoffs. There's only one station where you can see Chicago's Blackhawks. That station is Sports Vision. Acrobatic, sensational. The new breed of Chicago Bulls are that and more. Tune in for live and exclusive coverage of Michael Jordan and the Bulls all season long on Sports Vision. Watch Chicago's amazing proponent of air travel as he takes off against the best air defenses the NBA has to offer. It's a team with a future, a team with added balance, and a team on the move. Catch the Bulls at their best, only on Sports Vision.
Blackhawk game on Sports Vision Saturday night at 7:30 when the Hawks take on the St. Louis Blues. The executive producers for tonight's game have been Laureen Ong and Jim Corno. The game has been produced by Lisa Seltzer, directed by Brian Sipe, the former St. Louis, I should say the former Cleveland Browns quarterback. Studio coordinator Michelle Zavante. Remote facilities provided by Trio Video of Chicago. Vision White Sox exhibition baseball at 11 a.m. with the Sox against Toronto. Then at 6:30, it's good fishing. Now for Dale Talon, this is Pat Foley, hoping you enjoyed the broadcast in spite of the outcome, which was the North Stars 7 and the Blackhawks 5. The preceding has been an exclusive Sports Vision presentation.
Close to baseball season, exhibition play continues Thursday night as the White Sox take on the Toronto Blue Jays here on Sports Vision.